Good evening once again, everybody. Welcome into Springfield High School. It's LaSalle against the Haverford School here on Bob Long Sports, streaming live on LaSalle Sports Twitter and LaSalle Sports Facebook page. Bob Long, Rob Stott, and Tyler Kern alongside. This should be a good one here, guys. The Haverford School out of the Interac and LaSalle out of the Philadelphia Catholic League, returning home to Springfield High School, where they played games really until about 2009, 2010 when they made the move to Plymouth Whitemarsh. This is a very special game this evening, coming back home right down the street from LaSalle College High School in front of a raucous fan base right in front of us here. The stand's just on the one side of Springfield, but it's going to be loud, guys, and it's going to be a great game here tonight.
It's nice to be back here. You know, you remember those old days of walking from the barbecue down the back path through LaSalle over to Springfield, and brings back many fond memories, so it's nice to be able to call the first game back since that time, so it should be a good one.
Rob, I completely agree with that. I was a part of the 2012-2011 football team, and I just remember walking down up from LaSalle and getting that support from the friends and family on the way down, and it kind of really inspired you, and I hope that it helps kick them off on the right foot tonight.
And it'll be LaSalle kicking off. Jake Gandolfo will kick it deep. And back to receive Nate Whitaker, the senior cornerback and running back for the Haverford School, as long as Dion Hawkins is back there on the 15 as well.
Deep for the forwards. Number 4, Dion Hawkins, and number 24, Nate Whitaker.
A perfect night for football. And we are underway. Gandolfo rockets that one back over the head, and he's going to have to pick it up. Struggles. Now he's in the end zone, has to get out. And there is an edge to the outside. It's to the 10-yard line, and out past the 15 is number 24, Nate Whitaker. It could have been a lot worse there, Tyler.
Yeah, Nate Whitaker thought that was going right into the end zone, hoping for the touchback. It took a LaSalle favored bounce at about the 3-yard line. He was scrambling to get the ball and made something from nothing there.
Boy, backspin like a soggy green out there. I tell you, with the 9-iron. Jake Gandolfo, great kick to start things off.
Never know what these oblong balls with those points on the end. You never know what you're going to get. Can't, expect that it's just going to bounce straight behind you. These footballs can obviously take, as we just saw, some pretty crazy caroms.
I agree, Rob. It's that X factor in this game.
The Haverford School, a team that will go from the shotgun most downs. It'll be a 2-quarterback system here, Ben Gerber and Dante Perry. But out there right now is number 10, Ben Gerber. Threw the lone touchdown pass in last week's game. He slings this one out wide to Whitaker. He's got room to the outside, takes off past the 30, and it's a foot race. He's going to go all the way. And just like that, it's 6-0 Haverford School.
Touchdown, Haverford.
Haverford struck quick there. Wow. I believe number 21 there, Joey Cassisi. He looked like he tripped on his shoelace out there, Bob. He wasn't expecting that break, and that was just an easy touchdown. Great start for Haverford. I believe after that kick, that's what you need.
I don't know that Cassisi would have caught him from
I
behind
agree.
anyway. There was a lot of speed coming out of that backfield. Something to keep in mind. I think back to last week, Bob, over at Malvern, and LaSalle had that quick strike. Obviously, just a few seconds into this game, long way from over, but that's not the way you want to start if you're the Explorers.
And that low kick will find its way through the upright, and that's good for number 36, Trevor Pettibone, and it's 7-0 Haverford School. So one way to quiet the crowd here on homecoming is to strike like that. Nate Whitaker goes from almost to safety on the opening kickoff, finds his way out to the 15, and the next one, he takes it the rest of the way, 85 yards to the house.
Seemed like a simple wheel route there. It just got open and kind of caught the Explorers on their back foot, and the rest is history there.
Well, I think the beauty in that play design was splitting one receiver out wide to the right and sending that receiver straight inside on a slant. And then there comes Whitaker out on just a screen to the flat, and nobody's out on the edge. It's right, one good block from the receiver on the outside, and he was history. So now LaSalle's offense will have an opportunity to respond. Back to receive Manny Keelis.
Kickoff for Haverford.
And it looks like Justin Machida is out there as well, number 81. First time we've seen him back deep to receive. His heels on the 5. And it's Pettibone to send it away. That a deep kick into the end zone, and the Haverford School will send its defense out onto the field for the first time. And LaSalle led by Sean Daly, who took over the quarterback reins last week. We saw him a lot more comfortable throwing the football, Rob, than he had been in times past. Jack Machida unable to play here tonight, and we'll see what Sean Daly can do.
Yeah, the thing I liked about Daly, it seems like the coaches gave him a little bit more of the playbook as the game went on last week, but clearly, nothing against Machida, but clearly the more athletic option, I think, at quarterback, and we'll see what they decide to do with Daly today.
He slings it out wide. Here's Khalil Diarra on the screen. Good blocking up the field from the Explorers. And it's a first down. Liam Tatlangari sprung him with a nice block around the 25-yard line.
And that's the one thing I remember thinking back to last week. Number 83, Khalil Diarra, was the target that we've kind of been waiting for. It's been a few weeks now. We've wanted to see him kind of break out of his shell and start becoming that big target that we know he is, and really becoming an effective big target. And nice to see that on the first play, the LaSalle coaches are, looking his way and trying to get that connection going early tonight.
One of the hidden things about Sean Daly taking over at quarterback here tonight and playing that position is not only that you're putting more of an inexperienced thrower out there than Jack Machida when you had him behind or under center, but now you're taking also one of your best wide receiver threats out of the equation, because Daly was also really probably that number one option in terms of a guy that you think is just going to go get open.
Yeah, I remember in North Penn they were pretty much solely utilizing him in the Wildcat, and he would just take the ball and run it up the field. Like Rob said, I think they really kind of opened up the playbook with him, and we'll see what he can do with it tonight.
Tight set here. Daly in the shotgun. And here's the standoff. In motion, Sam Brown. Brown takes off. And he's going to outrun everybody. What a start on both sides here tonight. That's a freshman, Sam Brown, taking it to the house.
Unbelievable run. Great job by the LaSalle offense getting the edge, keeping the edge, and then just a great run. Way to turn on the Jets, make sure that you were able to break a tackle or two up early, and then next thing you know, you're off to the house. And an excellent response by the Explorers.
Yeah, I think that's the best possible response the Explorers could have had there. They moved the ball down the field. I think we're due for an offensive battle tonight.
7-6, and now it's Jake Gandolfo trying to even things up at 7. All square at 7 here at Springfield High School, an offensive shootout through the first 41 seconds of the football game.
That was a quick 41 seconds there, Bob. 14 points in a very, very short amount of time. I believe there was 3 offensive plays total there and 2 special teams plays.
We could be in for 41 seconds into the game. We already got 14 points. This is something else.
Either LaSalle's or Haverford's defense needs to step up and kind of get a stop and give the ball back to.
Forget bend don't break. This is just broken open.
What about Sam Brown? I mean, there was no angle, and then all of a sudden he was gone. I mean, there was no way, it didn't appear, a way for him to get to that sideline, and the defense had him cornered, and then all of a sudden he just ran by him. What an athlete, speed from sideline to sideline.
From a freshman, no less. So, I mean, that's the other thing you got to consider. This is a guy that's going to get another 3.5 years of touches, and that's if you want to make a mark and let these coaches know that you can be an every down workhorse, that's one way to do it.
Dion Hawkins back deep to receive. Gandolfo kicks it away. And it is Hawkins who will take it from the 3. Right up the middle of the field, makes one miss. And scoots back up the middle. LaSalle having trouble making the tackle, and Hawkins is out past the 30.
I just see sloppy tackling out there from LaSalle. They're not breaking down. They're just letting their momentum carry them and getting their ankles broken for lack of a better term there.
Is it something with the new turf? I mean, this is a new field we're playing on, a new Springfield facility that we're in tonight. What could they have done to the the turf field here to make this impossible to tackle.
I don't know, but it looks really good out there. Look at that green.
It does look phenomenal. This is a gorgeous facility that they have here.
It's either the best turf or it almost looks like a toxic waste dump. That is so green out there, but it is a beautiful looking field. Here's Gerber, quick drop, throws over the middle, and out to the 40-yard line. Good throw and catch, a gain of 7.
Just a well-designed play there. I mean, you can't ask for much more on first down. It's a 7-yard gain there. LaSalle's defense just kind of can't seem to get a rhythm right now.
Splitting out wide on the near side, Bryce Broadus and Jake Spencer. It's Ben Gerber who continues at the quarterback position. Not sure if we'll see Dante Perry at all. Gain of 3 to about the first down marker for Dion Hawkins right up the middle.
All right, it's been 2 plays that we don't have a touchdown. I'm getting a little antsy. What's going on here?
Patience, Rob, patience.
This is a normal drive.
First down, Haverford.
But Haverford certainly starting off on the right foot with a somewhat easy first down there.
LaSalle's going to go with a 3-4, standing up 4 linebackers. And actually now they're going to split the one linebacker out to the side. And once again, it's Hawkins out to the middle, and a nice job by the Explorers to string that out. Well done getting off the line from number 22, Abdul Carter. He's a freshman linebacker, and he's a guy that we saw, Rob, in that game against Malvern Prep, really have a day, a coming out party for the freshman. And he created some havoc in the backfield. Perhaps could have even been offside.
He did look like he had a really good jump, but so far the freshman impressing here tonight for the Explorers on homecoming night.
Second down and 9 from the shotgun. LaSalle brings the heat. Cutting up the middle is Hawkins, and Hawkins gets about 4.
And, you know, that's kind of interesting to me. I mean, during my time of playing, we didn't really bring too many freshmen up. The only freshman that we did bring up as a linebacker was Zaire Franklin, as we know, who's playing for the Colts right now. I don't know. I haven't kind of been in the loop, but I'm not sure if LaSalle's been incorporating more freshmen into their varsity team. But
well, in this particular year, they're very young, Tyler. I mean, they replaced 11 key contributors, starters essentially on offense, and essentially most of that defensive line. So they're bringing a lot of new guys into the equation. Over the top they go. It's caught down inside the 30. Bryce Broadus.
just a great pass, put it right where Bryce could catch it, and for a large gain there. I thought Rob almost got his wish of a touchdown there.
Almost. Not you know, almost. I'll leave it at that.
That was a very good throw, though. That ball was out of Gerber's hands before Broadus even turned around. A nice opportunity for Broadus, and he adjusted in midair very well. Now 8:40 to play, clock ticking. First down for the Haverford School. And keeping it is Ben Gerber. Good decision there as he slithers through the middle and continues to churn the legs. That'll be a gain of 6 for the quarterback.
Ben Gerber on the quarterback.
And unfortunate, you know, that pass play. LaSalle, you had Haverford where you wanted them, a 3rd and long. Giving up a big pass play, now you give them new life here on this drive. And, you know, you just got to step it up. This is kind of that bend, don't break mode. You know, you got to put that first drive behind you, know where you are on the field, and really dig in here and make sure you can get a stop.
8:05 to play. Gerber again in the shotgun. Logan Keller to his left, and they'll bring Whitaker back into the backfield as well. It's Whitaker on the give. LaSalle looking to string it out. And how about that play on the outside? What a stop from T.J. Meacham.
That was an impressive play by Meacham there. I thought Whitaker was getting the outside there. It didn't seem like the edge was set, but he made an athletic play and made the tackle there for a loss.
Just a nice athletic play, being able to follow your man, get off the block, shed those blocks, and make the tackle.
And I think, you know, trend is developing here. Tyler, you were talking about the freshman. Abdul Carter, a freshman. T.J. Meacham, I should say, that made that play. He's a junior. And, of course, as we mentioned, Sam Brown, the freshman, taking it the whole way to the house. Dion Hawkins cuts up past the first down marker inside the 15. First down for Haverford.
And even though that was a pickup for a first down there by Haverford, again, a nice play by Meacham. You know, he was one-on-one against the running back there and was able to wrap him up, bring him down, and not let him bust what could have been a touchdown on that play.
Abdul Carter will come off the field, and LaSalle will head into a 4-3 with 4 down linemen. In motion, and Gerber's going to throw the screen. A block in the back, not called, and all the way into the end zone. Bryce Broadus. Touchdown, Haverford School.
Wow, that was just a great pass by Gerber there. He was surrounded, but it looked like 3 defensive linemen. Just was able to offload that ball, and that turned into a touchdown.
I thought maybe a little block in the back there,
Yeah,
Rob.
it looked like it. It looked like a missed call, but something I noticed on that play is that same design as the first play of the game that went for the long touchdown. So I think the Explorers, seeing the running back swing out to the right, they might have been a little distracted by that, not wanting to get beat by that again, which opened up the backside screen for Haverford, and lo and behold, we are now sitting here at 14-7.
The Explorers' defensive line has to kind of recognize that that's a screen. And, I mean, you can see how easily they got up the field. Something doesn't feel right there when you get up the field that quickly, and they got to recognize the screen. I know, especially at the high school level, that's really difficult. But
So with 6:44 to play, not even halfway through this first quarter, it's 14-7 Haverford School, and the folks that have come out, the packed crowd here at Springfield High School for homecoming, are in for a treat, but they want to see this LaSalle team get back on the board.
There's not a spot on these bleachers. You know, taking a quick peek around. And awesome to see this kind of a crowd. Hope they don't like defense.
So, guys, the interesting thing about this field, you see out past the Haverford sideline, obviously no stands on that side of the field. We played with the idea of getting a lift out here and standing on that side of the field. It would have been a lot of logistics, but we might have more space than we have right now.
we might have been the center of attention
That's
over there
true.
as well.
Yes. Also the lacrosse net. Travis Pettibone to kick it deep. He put it into the end zone last time, and that one is rocketed as well. And Keelis catches it in the end zone. An automatic touchback at the high school level, and LaSalle will start from the 25.
See if they can continue that explosive offense they had on their first offensive drive. I think LaSalle needs to respond with that. I mean, like you said, there was a few mistakes on that drive, but Haverford was pretty able to handily take that down the field.
Yeah, it's that was the first sustained drive. LaSalle obviously has 7 points on the board, but you've only seen 2 plays from them, so it's not like they've really established much of anything. Might be an opportunity. You want to get the quick response, but let's see if you can establish a drive, really build some momentum, and get some things working on offense.
Maybe eat up some of that clock as well. This is a high-scoring game and not even halfway through the first quarter yet.
So now it's Sean Daly back out with the offense for LaSalle. In motion, they give it off to Abdul Carter. Carter to the outside, and you can see the idea for LaSalle. 2 jet sweeps on their last 2 offensive plays. Give it to your athletic freshman, the first time Sam Brown, that time Abdul Carter, and stretch him to the sideline and make the defense catch up.
If it ain't broke, Bob, it's only been a very small sample size of plays, but it's working so far.
This time it's Sam Brown in motion. They'll give it off to him, and Brown has the edge. Brown up the field. Brown across the 50 with a flag down at the 31 in the area of holding.
Sam Brown on the carry, tripped up by Dion.
Yeah, well-designed play there. I think you're right on that holding call there. I didn't specifically see it, but based off the location, that makes a lot of sense, and the Explorers seem to recognize that as well.
It's one of those, it kind of came into the play. I'm following through the camera as you're taught not to do in journalism school, but it came after, the play was well downfield at that point. Kind of caught it in the frame, as I'm turning this camera. So kind of an unnecessary hold, unfortunate, but one way or the other.
And did they teach you to commentate and use the camera in a camera school as well?
We do it all here.
This is zero budget productions, but we love it. But Abdul Carter is a next-level athlete, and Sam Brown, who just took that last one, is a next-level athlete. These guys are really impressive. This time it's Sam Brown in motion, and keeping it is Sean Daly, staying right on top of it, the defensive line for the Haverford School. Tremendous play there by number 72, Kwaku Adubafor.
And I don't know if that was a design keeper for Daly. Haverford seemed to be all right on top of it, but I would have, if it was an option, I would have let that ball go. I mean, the jet sweep's been working. why not stay with it?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a run-pass option there, and the idea is if that defensive end follows the man in motion, right? In theory, you're leaving the defensive end unblocked on the weak side to see if he comes across to take that guy on the jet sweep or not. And if he comes across, that's where the quarterback should hold on to it. Run right up the middle for the Explorers, churning the legs. And it's a gain of 5.
Yeah, I was going to say that with Daly, that might just be kind of an experience thing. He's just recently been the starting quarterback.
Right.
And that's something that he might have to learn the hard way by taking a few hits there, whether to pass that off or to keep it for himself.
Listen, it's a tough thing. I mean, it's one of the toughest things, especially as more and more teams at different levels go to that. I mean, some would even say Trace McSorley at Penn State. They run the RPO all the time. Maybe not the best decision maker, although he makes a ton of plays. It's tough to make that decision. Now Daly takes off with this one as the pocket collapsed on him. He keeps going. He's got a first down and more and continues to push forward into Haverford territory.
And that time the decision to keep the ball by Daly worked out perfectly. It was good coverage downfield. He got flushed out of the pocket, decides to tuck it and run, and picks up more than enough for a first down and getting this ball into Haverford territory. But it looks like it's coming back.
I think that was down the field, that penalty.
It looked like unsportsmanlike. There was some shoving at the end of the play. Helmets were off. Although that
flag's way back
way
there.
Back.
Whether that I didn't see the call. If anybody saw what the head official was saying there or what the motion was, but it looked like it could have been in the area of a shot block. It was right at the line of scrimmage.
They are saying holding on the offense.
All right.
Third and very long.
Oh.
All right, Rob Stott, offensive coordinator, Riverboat Rob. What do you got here?
I mean, why not take a shot? Let your receivers go down. My head tells me, just run it.
Yeah, don't take a shot here. Daly throws the screen, and it's dropped. Wasn't really going anywhere anyway, but was looking for Timothy Barrett and threw it a little bit behind him, and it'll be a punt coming up for LaSalle.
That's just a couple of unforced errors there by the LaSalle Explorers on offense. Had a first down, a nice run by Daly. Just a couple of yellow flags getting thrown on the field, and now you're in a situation where you got to punt.
That's a pretty good kick there. Fair catch waved for and caught at the LaSalle 47-yard line, and Haverford will start this offensive drive in plus territory.
Can't ask for much better field position for Haverford there, starting LaSalle territory there. A great punt, like you said, but there's not much you can do with that, especially being sent back, I think, for 2 holding calls. That's 20 yards back. You can't do a whole lot with that.
Your heels are pretty much on your own end, goal line, and so he got it out as best he could, and now LaSalle's defense will be asked to step up.
And a big drive for them.
They switch the one technique tackles at the line. It's a 4-3 defense for the Explorers. The give up the middle by Logan Keller. Gain of 3.
Logan Keller on the carry.
LaSalle's defense needs to, if there was a time to show their stuff, I think now's the time. Again, Haverford's kind of gotten a great rhythm moving down the field, and LaSalle's defense is just making missed tackles and mental errors, which are fixable, but
3:46 to play. Bob Long, Rob Stott, Tyler Kern here, your broadcast team from Springfield High School. Haverford School leads 14-7 over the home Explorers. It's Ben Gerber in the shotgun. 3-step drop, now fires to the outside and a little bit wide there. Tried to go back shoulder.
Yeah, I thought Matthew McKenna made an athletic play to get open there, but unfortunately the ball was just kind of out of his reach there. So Explorers luck out a bit there.
Now another big third down and long. Big opportunity for the Explorers, like we said at the start of this drive, to get off the field here quick and get the ball back in the hands of their offense.
Dion Hawkins in the backfield along with Gerber, who's taken every snap here tonight. Have not seen Dante Perry once. And they give it off to Nate Whitaker. He makes one miss. He gets up to the 40, and it's 4th and manageable, dare I say. Could it be 4-down territory?
Knowing high school ball,
I think it is.
I would say it is. And so would Haverford, it seems like.
Gerber is having the discussion with the offensive coordinator, and he's back out there. The offense stays on the field for 4th down. They need the 37-yard line of LaSalle for a first down. They're 3 yards away.
Certainly a huge opportunity for the Explorers defense to make a stop here.
Gerber in the shotgun. 2 receivers to each side. Ball on the far hash. The 4th down snap. He's flushed. He fires, and it's incomplete. Dan Whaley, the intended receiver. And number 3, Frank Joyce in coverage for the Explorers. Turnover on downs.
Great tackle by Paul Jennings there. Really put the pressure on Gerber to get him, make that throw. And as you can see, it was behind the receiver.
I'm a fan of Paul Jennings. He does a great job getting off the edge as a defensive end. And he has created havoc in the first couple of games here of the year for the Explorers. Another great example right there.
Now the offense's turn. Big job on that drive by the defense stepping up and getting the ball back. Not letting Haverford convert that 4th down. So let's take a little bit of that momentum and see what we can't do on offense.
Pretty decent field position as well.
Khalil Diarra out wide. They have safety help over the top. And in motion comes Sam Brown. Brown cuts up the middle and gets a solid gain. Call it 7. Boy, it's almost like he's moving in slow motion, and then all of a sudden he makes one cut and he's up the field. Very patient that time from the freshman, waiting for the hole to open up.
Yeah, between Samuel Brown and Abdul Carter, that they have a nice running back duo there. Both very athletic, able to make plays, make guys miss.
You say running back, I bet those guys can play any position they want. These guys are spectacular athletes.
Speaking of, they just split Brown out wide.
And it's Manny Keelis making one miss. He's got a first down and more inside the 45-yard line of the Haverford School. First down, LaSalle.
Might have been a little distraction there, bringing Brown out of the backfield, putting him out wide. But nice to see Keelis get into the action here tonight.
Yeah, he made one miss there and was able to break a tackle for that first down. That was an impressive play.
$1:45 to play first quarter. The handoff is to Abdul Carter. Carter bounces to the outside. Carter has a first down and pulled down inside the 30. That's a gain of 15 yards and a LaSalle first down.
Well, I'm seeing so far, give the ball to Abdul Carter and Samuel Brown. They can't be stopped. They're getting large gains every play on those sweeps. It's just sweep, sweep, sweep.
Playmakers, ball in space. Football's a simple game sometimes. Get your playmakers the football in space and let them do it, whether it's via pass, via handoff. Just get your most athletic guys in space, and really, that's a simple concept, and LaSalle executing brilliantly right now.
And I feel like we've beaten this drum already tonight, but I love that they're working the young guys into this offense, and, really, it almost feels like they've had these hidden weapons or something, these fast guys, young guys coming up that we haven't seen much this year. So it's nice to see them really get in on homecoming, get their opportunity to play, and this feels like a true coming out party for these younger guys.
Yeah, it's always great to see young guys step up, filling positions from seniors that graduated from the year before, and it's always great to see a team start clicking. And right now, LaSalle is clicking on offense.
Jalen DeVoe's in the backfield. Here comes Sam Brown in motion. They give it up the middle to DeVoe's. Knifing through the middle of the defense, a gain of 5 yards.
Even there, I didn't see a hole, and he blasted right through it for a 5-6 yard gain there on first down. You can't ask for much more there.
I'll offer a slight counterpoint. I think the hole there was open because you keep giving the ball outside, you fake it again to Brown, and they have to shift the guys to the outside. Now over the top they go to the outside. Luke Hardy makes the play. Gain of about 4. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Now all of a sudden you're starting to see you get these freshmen going, and you have so many weapons now on offense. I mean, you talk about losing Daly by having him go and have to be quarterback here for the Explorers, but clearly they have more offensive weapons than I think we realized through these first 4 weeks, and tonight, if anything, it's starting to show.
Manny Keelis in the backfield, pistol formation with Daly at quarterback. Keelis with the give, runs through one defender, keeps churning the legs across the 15-yard line. That's more than enough for a LaSalle first down.
Just pounding the football straight up the middle, and I think it might start opening up the passing game. We'll see. I'm not sure on Daly's ability in the Malvern Prep game, how he did on passing, but I think pounding this football with the run game could potentially open up the pass game, and I think we should kind of look for that.
Well, it's interesting. They definitely opened up the passing game more against Malvern Prep, and he showed the ability to do it. Maybe, did not have his best game per se, but he can do it. Right now, why do anything else than this? Right here. Sam Brown trying to get to the outside. That time, Haverford up to task. It's a loss of 1, and they strung him out very well.
Nice job there by Haverford, able to stretch that play out. Tough to keep up with that speed of Brown, but they were able to do it there and end up holding them for a loss of 1.
And they're going to let this one tick down to the end of the first quarter. It's Haverford School 14, LaSalle 7. This portion of today's game brought to you by our partners at Dunphy Ford. We appreciate our good friends over there in Mayfair who have helped us come on the air year after year and allowed us to keep doing what we're doing for the LaSalle football program. So please give them a shout, dunphyford.com or 7700 Frankfurt Avenue. Tell Kevin Dunphy that we sent you. We'll be right back on the other side. The Explorers back at it, and it's Manny Keelis up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Explorers. That's one way to start the second quarter.
5 seconds in, and, that's a quick strike, if I do say so myself. And nice to see the Explorers cap off what was a really impressive drive and an excellent answer after getting the stop on defense, able to turn that ball around, drive downfield, and not knot it up yet, but, give themselves an opportunity to knot it up and pound that ball into the end zone.
Jake Gandolfo tees up the point after and hits it.
And I really like the Explorers sticking with the running game there. They're getting large gains every play, maybe tackle for a loss at one time, but probably past 10, 15 runs have been fairly large gains, and they're sticking with it. Sometimes you see teams kind of try to switch it up because they know it's going to get predictable, but I think it was good of them to continue with the run.
Bob Long, Rob Stott, Tyler Kern, your broadcast team, and big ups to Colin O'Hara making it out and doing camera work for us here. We appreciate that. We got 4 LaSalle grads in the booth here. Well, not a booth, but in the open, fresh air of Springfield High School. You got to love that.
Yeah.
It's cozy, boys. It's like an old LaSalle mixer up in here. It's about as tight, about as much room to move as a LaSalle mixer, if I remember right.
Gender ratio is about the same as well.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's pretty good stuff there, Tyler.
I will say, though,
I'll give you credit for a zinger when you come up with one.
Coming off of a homecoming dance last night, had the opportunity to chaperone, boys.
Look at you, man.
Wow.
The ratio there, you got to buy tickets, so they have the 1-to-1. They've got the 1-to-1 at Formos, I will say that.
Okay. Gandolfo launches this one, and this one does bounce into the end zone. A touchback, and Gandolfo will set up the LaSalle defense to start from the 25 and get after this LaSalle or Haverford School offense.
I'm sure,
back out 14 apiece.
I'm sure Haverford breathed a sigh of relief there when the ball actually landed in the end zone this time for the touchback rather than on the 1 yard line like on that first kickoff.
That was unbelievable.
A great atmosphere here tonight. You hear the student section off to our right just having a blast.
And it's Gerber in the shotgun for the Haverford School. The give is up the middle to Dion Hawkins, and Hawkins is bottled up after a gain of 1.
Good job there by the Explorers front, just able to stay on their, blocks, shed them at the right time, and hold the Haverford offense to a very minimal gain.
Dylan Trainer stood that guy up from his knees. That was an impressive tackle.
The Trainer family, very, very historic here at LaSalle football. Of course, Liam the most recent, and now Dylan taking over in his brother's footsteps. Here is the give.
Oof.
Whitaker makes one miss. Whitaker cuts upfield and has a gain of about 5 yards. It'll be 3rd and 4.
It's a nice juke in there by Whitaker, making a man miss, and I didn't catch the number. I think it was number 8 coming back to the sideline. That's Rob Tatum. But good job by the Explorers, not letting that bust for a bigger play than it could have been.
Yeah, it certainly made it 3rd and manageable for the Explorers on defense, but, it could go either way here. We'll see what Haverford comes out with.
They got 3rd and 3 on the board. They need the 30 for a first down.
Looks like they're going to spread it.
Shovel pass, and LaSalle's right on it. What a play there by the Explorers.
Heads-up play there by number 76, who I do not see on our list.
Hawkins on the carry.
Could be a 5. We'll say Ryan Wills.
I did pull this roster from the almost ready varsity roster.
There you go.
PDF, so great play.
Just an unfortunate option there, right into a tackle, essentially.
High snap, and they barely get it off the side of the foot, and lands out of bounds. Probably up near the 40 is where it went out.
That might have been touched. That was quite a long. You could see the punter was surrounded by Explorers there. It might have been maybe a touch by a fingertip because it seemed to go off, or like you said, side of the foot.
Not a pretty one way or the other, no matter what way you slice it. That sliced right out of bounds.
If I may, that's a fairly conservative spot, the 42-yard line.
I agree.
It pretty much landed at the 42 or 43.
Out of bounds.
And it not only out of bounds,
on the
but
track. It was,
in between the thick white on the sideline and the track. Nonetheless, great field position here for the Explorers.
Another opportunity now to finally put your foot out in front here.
14 apiece. LaSalle back on offense. Diarra has to go down to get it. Not a great throw, and it's incomplete.
I like the idea there. Getting your big man involved. Diarra, we haven't seen him since the first play of the game for the Explorers, first offensive play of the game for the Explorers, and just a little low there by Daly.
Yeah, certainly tough for a big boy like that to reach down for such a low pass. I think once Daly starts throwing a little more, it's been so much running that maybe he'll find his stride.
3 receivers out to the near side. Single coverage out there. They give it up the middle. And Liam Tatlangari, the big man, bowls through one, a gain of 5.
This didn't work. Might as well run it up the middle.
Ground game is definitely working for the Explorers tonight. Obviously, a lot of it has to do with the athleticism of these backs, but give credit to that offensive line, too. They're opening up holes, able to push this Haverford front backwards, create space for their running backs, and turn this into a 3rd and manageable for the Explorers on offense now.
And I like that call as well because I think when you're starting 2nd and 10 on the 42, heading this way, it's 4-down territory. So I wouldn't be surprised to see another run here. It's Manny Keelis up the middle. Keelis Gets to the line. It's going to be really close, maybe a half-yard short for Keyless, but he fought the whole way.
Really going to depend on the spot, and that's, I mean, we've seen that from Keyless week in and week out, just constantly, driving those legs, not giving up on a play, and it seems like a fourth down.
It's fourth and a full yard. I thought they got closer than that. So LaSalle will keep the offense on the field.
I'm not only impressed with the quality of LaSalle's running backs right now, but the quantity. They have, I think, 4 or 5 different running backs right now, and each one is getting significant yardage on each run.
LaSalle rarely goes to the I formation, but they line up Liam Tatlangari and then Keyless. It'll be Keyless running right behind the blocking of Tatlangari, an easy first down for the Explorers.
Just a little off tackle there. Let your big men up front do the work and fall in right behind them and pick up that first down.
Yeah, great job. Keyless managed to, I don't think the hole was there, and he kind of bounced and rolled outside for that nice gain, enough for the first down, and that's critical on fourth down. Especially, I think the Explorers really need to score here and start gaining some momentum.
It's a good high school football game tonight here, boys. 14 apiece, ticking under 8 minutes to play here in the second quarter. LaSalle moving down the field. They fake the give. Daly rolls. Daly's running out of time, and Daly throws it over the top to Khalil Diarra. He cuts up the middle. Does he have it? He does. The speed to the end zone. A broken play ends up with a touchdown.
Wow. And that was, we're looking, you can't tell in the booth here, on camera, but we got this little cylinder, like a, wall that we're looking around, and all we see is Diarra come out from behind the wall, make that grab, cut up field, make countless men miss, and just an unbelievable catch and run. And, Explorers finally getting their foot out in front here.
Yeah, the ball disappeared, and I heard a cheer and saw Diarra running out in the center of the field. That was a great job by Daly extending that play, running to the outside, making a great pass.
But there was a flag on the play, calling it back.
Got a little too excited.
Yeah,
it looked like right before Daly was about to get hit, and an Explorer hit blocked towards his own end zone. It might have been an illegal block there.
Probably not one you needed either.
Really unfortunate.
I'm not sure what behind the head, the 2 hands behind the head means as far as penalty goes by the referee, but.
Well, that's an illegal substitution, or perhaps it was a lineman downfield. Abdul Carter, they fake the give there. Daly has a lot of room. Daly to the 25. Daly to the 16-yard line, enough for a first down on 2nd and long. Takes it himself.
I like that. That's real, some gusto from the Explorers, not letting, the penalty get them down. They came right back on 2nd down and long, and Daly does it himself, picks up the first down.
Point of clarification, I now know what you were talking about with the hands behind the head. That means it's a loss of down.
Oh, okay.
Loss of down, so it ended up, instead of being 1st and long, it was 2nd and long.
That makes sense. Got to study up on my referee hand signals.
Timeout called by the Haverford School. 7:28 to play. Second quarter. It's 14 apiece.
I know it goes into the books now. Well, it doesn't go into the books. It comes off the books as an official play. But to go back to that broken Diarra play real quick, that was just excellent work by both the quarterback and his receiver. Obviously Daly getting time to make the throw, but then Diarra to stay with the play, come back to his quarterback, make the grab, and just turn it upfield. And real athleticism shown by both guys, I think, on that play. And it's just unfortunate that it gets called back the way it does, but Explorers are still alive here.
Well, and Diarra has so much athleticism. That ball's a floater at the end of the day.
Yep.
But you're a lot more confident throwing that floater up and towards the sidelines when it's 6'6" Diarra there to come down with it.
Might be a slight advantage there. But like you said, I appreciated Daly's gusto. Yeah, the play was called back, lost it down, 2nd and long, and he ran it up the field, just showed off his athleticism for the first down. He wants that touchdown.
Shotgun formation. Take a look at number 22, Abdul Carter, to the left of Daly. He comes in motion, and they give it to Abdul Carter. Makes one miss on the outside, gets to the edge, and a flag is thrown. Likely another block in the back against the Explorers as Abdul Carter, or I should say, Abdul Carter had a gain of about 4.
Yeah, it looked like Abdul Carter was about to get tackled in the backfield, and he made an athletic play and got 4 yards from nothing there. We'll see what this flag is. These penalties are proving costly for the Explorers tonight.
Feels like a NFL Sunday here with all these flags.
Boy, has that been ridiculous or what?
Unreal. Thursday night, I felt like I was watching the referees more than I was watching any actual play between Cincinnati and Baltimore.
And I don't want to come off the wrong way, of course. I understand the safety element. It just seems like, and we knew coming in that there was going to be more points of emphasis.
Yep.
And they were going to call the game tighter. Well, they did that.
They have.
They've done it.
You know, they weren't lying.
So now first and about 15. They have it marked as first and 16 on the board. Still 14 apiece. It's been a long drive for LaSalle. They've been into the end zone and back. Long drive from starting this one at the 42-yard line. Daly cuts up the middle. Inside the 10-yard line. Down inside the 5. First down, LaSalle. That's a gain of 17 yards.
And that's twice in a row now that we've seen the Explorers get a play called back on a penalty, and then Daly decides to take the ball on his own and pick up a long first down. Really doing it all on his own on this drive.
He's really showing his athleticism.
Keep an eye out here. Number 30, Brendan Fresco. Kind of on an unassuming basis comes onto the field here. Normally plays in the linebacking core.
Feeling a little Mike Vrabel-esque kind of formation here. Lined up in that full house.
They got that full house. And they give it up the middle. Jalen DeVos trying to bounce to the outside. Wrapped up and taken down by Asim Richards.
Little step over of DeVos there by Richards. DeVos getting up, not happy. Got nothing on that play. Just come back to the sideline, and
I wouldn't be too happy if I got bear hugged and thrown like that either.
Did not look fun.
Good recognition by Haverford there, though, wrapping him up and throwing him down to prevent the touchdown.
I think that's one that's interesting. You try it on first down, you're inside the 5. You try something different, but if it's me, I go right back to the bread and butter. Get it out wide in the hands of one of your athletes. And Daly sneaks to the outside. Timothy Barrett off his hands. He was open, just couldn't come up with it.
And a lucky bounce off of his hands, because if it goes the other direction or stays up a little bit longer, that's a pick, and there's a lot of green in front of the Haverford cornerback there. So just unfortunate for both sides, really.
So now third down and 5. And interesting here, where would LaSalle need to be? Not in the end zone after this play to consider going for it on fourth. They don't even want to think about it. In the shotgun here is Daly. They're trying to score now. Daly slings it out wide. Diarra has it, and that's a loss. Haverford was all over it, and I think that takes any fourth down thoughts out of your mind. They'll send Jake Gandolfo out to kick the field goal.
Yeah, little bubble screen. I've never been a big fan of those plays. They're slow developing, and when you have that little field behind you, it's not like you have, a lot of green grass that these defenders are spread out on. So just a play that develops slowly, a little too slowly, and ends up being a loss for the Explorers.
Gandolfo from the left hash. From 19 yards away, bad snap. They got it down beautifully, up and good. Really a tremendous hold that time by Gavin Daly, the sophomore quarterback. That came to him on a hop, guys, and he took it all in one motion like a shortstop out there.
New turf, I guess he has the read on the
it's a
the
true
field.
hop, yes.
So he knew what to expect, I guess, coming out off of a bounce, and nice job again getting it down quickly, and Explorers have their first lead of the game.
Gandolfo's got quite the boot, and he's consistent. He swung that easily. It was a nice, easy kick, and it was straight up the middle. Probably, I imagine he could kick it fairly far.
Feels like one thing that the Explorers, at least in our 4 years of watching, and I'm sure I could think back even a little further,
Absolutely.
that they've never had to really worry about. They've had good kickers year in, year out, and guys that are reliable, and guys that go on to do good things at the next level too.
Including Ryan Winslow.
Jake Gandolfo to kick off for the Explorers.
Ryan Winslow, obviously a tremendous career at the University of Pittsburgh, signed with the Bears.
Number 24, Nate Whitaker.
Gandolfo, end-over-end kick. And that scoots into the end zone, and fortunate there. It went through the hands of the Haverford School. That was number 8, Kevin Thomas.
If he had touched that, was that a
Well, he
live ball?
did touch it.
Yeah.
It was a little different than the opening kickoff where it was literally kicked into the end zone. That's one, really no control or anything like that, and the referee deemed that was still warranting of a touchback. I think I made this mistake earlier in the game. High school, unlike college and the NFL, did not change the rule. They still take their touchbacks back to the 20 rather than the 25. So Haverford School will start from the 20 with Ben Gerber at quarterback. One receiver out wide to each side. And they're going to take the shot. He's got a man.
Ooh.
And trying to catch it with one hand was Dan Whaley.
What's
he doing?
Whaley?
Whaley had that.
Stick your left arm out as well, catch the ball, and run for 6. But unfortunately for Haverford School, he tried to
trying his best OBJ impression, and it didn't pan out there.
He just seemed to ease up on that run as well as the ball came closer. I thought he had it.
It's really a tremendous toss from Ben Gerber.
Yeah.
I mean, perfect.
I thought it was, up until the catch, great route run by Whaley there. He had his guy beat.
Here's the give on the inside handoff, and LaSalle able to bottle him up, a gain of just 1.
And now this defense, led by number 30 there. That's Brendan Fresco making that tackle. They're really starting to, put their imprint on this game and take control on, when they're on the field and not letting Haverford get much of anything.
LaSalle looks like they're going with a 3-4 here on this particular set of downs.
Ready to pin their ears back, put the pressure on.
It's Savage and Jennings, the defensive ends. 4 linebackers out there. Here is the fake. Gerber, he'll take another shot. And there comes the late flag. Taken down on the play, Jake Spencer. LaSalle's going to say incidental contact. Haverford's going to accept the pass interference call, and the Explorers, unfortunately, were close to getting away with one there, and we're close to getting Haverford School 3 and out.
Looked like it should have been. To me, that looked like 2 guys running side by side and getting tangled up and going down. Just that wasn't even where that ball was intended to go. Gerber was looking a little bit further downfield, and it's kind of the underneath route that just wrong place, wrong time. Ref had their eyes on them.
That's a shame, too. Abdul Carter blitzed on that play, and he had the sack and got sucked in, and unfortunately wasn't able to bring Gerber in.
New life for Haverford. Oh.
And it looked like LaSalle might have been offside, or there was a false start first. It looks like they're going to get encroachment against the Explorers, unabated to the quarterback, and they blow the play dead as a result.
Carter, all night it feels like he's been getting a good jump, that time just a little bit early, and they got him on it.
Penalties. Explorers are racking up some laundry tonight. It's killing them in key situations as well.
Now 1st down and 5 for the Haverford School. They're trailing for the first time here tonight with 3:55 to play in the second quarter. Gerber alone in the backfield. 4 split out wide. Sneaks it up the middle, has some room, and gets about a yard short, and the ball came out. Ball is live, and now they blow it dead. They blew it dead very late. Joe Wade right there on the sideline, not happy with the official. I don't blame them. The whistle did not come until after the Explorers were running down the field with it, and it looked like Tyson Goldstein had an angle towards the end zone. Wow, so that's going to go down as a gain of 4, 2nd down and 1, and the clock runs.
And the crowd is not happy here. That late whistle there.
I'm speechless.
Yeah, no comment.
Explorers bring the pressure again, and they wrap him up. Tyson Goldstein gets his revenge. Into the backfield he goes. That's a loss of 2. It'll be 4th down and 3.
Brendan Fresco limping off the field. He's down now.
Fresco, a senior linebacker, 6'2", 207, has been tremendous in the action so far for the Explorers. He and Dylan Trainer really lock up the middle of that linebacking core. You hate to see him down like this.
Potentially big impact. You talk not just talent, but leadership-wise on that defense as a senior. Tough to see, especially on homecoming night.
We'll take a quick break and come back.
Was too.
All right, it's 3rd down and 2. Pressure from the Explorers. Gerber avoids one and is taken down for a big sack. So that's 4th down. And the LaSalle defense gets off the field.
Yeah, that's impressive, especially even after that encroachment call gave Haverford the edge, 1st and 5, and the Explorers were able to shut them down. Great pressure there, even after some questionable calls that could have gone either way. But great response from the Explorers. I mean, when anything like that happens on the field, you want to see a surge like that.
And a great play on, a great way of coming back after a couple calls seemingly go against you on that drive, like you mentioned, and then taking the timeout here, kind of trying to preserve a little clock, give this offense an opportunity to work, and put some more points on the board and extend this lead before we get into halftime.
It's a good one here tonight from Springfield High School. LaSalle 17, Haverford School 14 here on BLS. Bob Long, Rob Stott, Tyler Kern, Colin O'Hara doing the honors as the cameraman. Excited about that. Excited to have him out here.
He's building up his camera work resume tonight.
Absolutely. NBC Sports Philadelphia is watching. So it's 4th down and 7.
I'm interested to see what kind of pressure the Explorers bring on this punt. They were right there last time.
They're going to come after it. They get the punt off, and that's a good one. End over end. And this is going to take a Haverford School bounce inside the 10-yard line and down at the 7. So a long way to go for LaSalle here with 2:25 to play in the second quarter.
Yep.
Still a chance to be methodical on this drive. A little bit more a little bit more ground that you got to make up than I think you were hoping for as you get started on this drive. 93 yards to go.
Yeah.
So just an opportunity for this offense to get some more work in before the half.
It's interesting as well because most of their major gains have been off runs tonight, and they got to be careful with the amount of time left, how they're handling this football. I'd expect to see some sweeps maybe to the outside to get out of bounds. I guess we'll see.
That'll be Sean Daly under center. I formation for the Explorers. They give it off to Manny Keelis, bouncing to the outside. Not a lot of room there. Run out of bounds after a gain of 2. And they run that clock.
Running? How?
That's a tough call there. I mean, there are times where the forward momentum has stopped and you push a guy backwards so you keep the clock running. That simply wasn't the case there.
He went straight out of bounds.
That's just a bad call. It's a bad decision by that side judge. Sorry, not usually that blunt, but
it was
just not the right call.
It just was. There's no other way, nothing else you could say about it.
Right up the middle again. Haverford up to the task, churning for a gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd and 5. See if Haverford School will use a timeout now. They're electing not to.
You wonder if that first play goes out of bounds, if clock stops and you kind of treat that second play a little differently. I don't know. Changes a lot of things possibly.
Well, I think on the LaSalle side here, now perhaps they're more than willing to run it one more time, take the clock down, and if they happen to get a big gain, then you can reevaluate. If not, you've taken time off. Daly continues to roll. And Daly throws it away, so Haverford School will get the ball back. 1:03 on the clock. Let's out a punt from their own 14-yard line. It's a 17-14 game. Haverford School thinking, all right, we're going to send our guy, Jake Spencer, back there, see if he can create something on this punt return and maybe get some more points before the half.
Important for the Explorers to step up here on special teams. They need to get this ball off.
And it'll be Gandolfo. Line drive kick, fair catch, wait for, and taken at the 46-yard line of LaSalle. So Haverford School once again will start with the football offensively in plus territory.
So one more opportunity now for the defense. Kind of hoping it would be the offense that is on the field last to here to end the half, but Explorers defense has a chance to go into the locker room with a bit of a statement. You know, got a short field for Haverford, and you want to hold them, not let them put any points up on the board.
Well, and it kind of defines the narrative as well, because Haverford School came out, they scored twice very quickly. If you can get one more stop here, that means a lot for your defense. Gerber, arm is hit, and it's intercepted. LaSalle has the football. And it's number 23, TJ Meacham.
It was there, and then it wasn't, and then it was. Pass was deflected by, I believe, number 8 on LaSalle, and Meacham was able to make a very heads-up play. I think he got that ball by the fingertips, and there's that statement.
That's a play that just makes you smile. You know, you look at it, the ball's kind of bouncing around. You don't know what can happen with under a minute left, and you had the interception, then you didn't, then you had it again, and all of a sudden you're back on offense.
Now you absolutely take some shots out of the shadow of your own goal line. 46 seconds on the clock, one timeout left. You got, of course, after first downs, the clock stops. You got a lot of options here. Daly with the keeper. Daly looking to get first down yardage, doesn't, and LaSalle will likely use that timeout, and they do. Last timeout used of the half, 37.6 seconds to play. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Should be interesting. Like I said, they've been relying on legs all night. Not too much pass in the passing game. We did see that one, but that was called back for the touchdown. I think Daly's going to have to try to show off his arm here and see what he's got.
2 words. Khalil Diarra.
Yep.
6'6". Send him long. Throw the ball up.
Let him go for it. Daly, I mean, we haven't really seen him launch one. I feel like, his athletic ability, he probably has the arm that could do it. At the very least, 37 seconds. It's not like you're going for the end zone here anyway, but, just let your big man go out, put the ball up for him, let him go get it.
Of course, what's important here is any type of run or pass or anything has to go past the first down marker.
Yep.
No more timeouts left. I don't believe they have a timeout left at this point. That they might. I don't see any left on the scoreboard. But Daly takes the drop back. Daly running out of room. Instead, he cuts up the sideline and across the middle. Big gain for Daly across the 30. First down, LaSalle. That's a huge run.
Unbelievable play by Daly, tucking it, making a couple men miss in the backfield, just cutting that ball upfield, stopping the clock with the first down, and just a nice big gain. Looks like we're going to clock it here.
Well done. About a second and a half comes off the clock after it was stopped after the first down. Well done by the Explorers. Very organized, getting up to the line, and now they can take a few shots.
They're in business.
That was just a great play by Daly. I could see him looking at Diarra, got pressure right in his face, had composure, and bounced out to the outside for a huge gain. Made a few guys miss. That's a guy who wants to win.
I'd like to see if they could isolate, Diarra, put him alone on one side of the field, put all your other guys to the right. Just let him work against a corner here.
4 receivers out wide. Daly takes off up the middle. Daly's got to get the first down. That clock's not going to stop. They need to get up and clock this football. But they had one timeout left. Indeed, they used it.
Whew.
And 18.8 to play. Guess they don't have those timeouts up on the board, do they, Rob?
Thought they might. I think what they're doing,
That's
I don't know if
gotta be
it's
it.
the numbers on the outside, but I think they're saying how many they've used rather than how many they have left. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, on the left on the outside, that's what down it is.
All right.
And on the right, it's the quarter.
So I can't see anything.
So
I need my eyes checked.
good try, but that's not what it is.
Would have been an interesting approach.
It would have been.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
New field, new arena over here at Springfield. I don't know how they do things on this side of Paper Mill. So
Yeah, it really is a different world over here, isn't it?
Yeah. Bright green grass, blue track.
a blue track.
Although, isn't that exactly what LaSalle's doing?
That
Divine
is.
track at Flannery Field.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How about that? I like the name.
it's a good call.
They're,
It's a fantastic name.
Great man.
Big shout out to Pat Devine, coached me at LaSalle. Really good man, great track mind, a better person. Honored today in the Hall of Athletics. Handoff up the gut. Jalen DeVos inside the 5.
Got to get up
LaSalle's
quick.
got to get up and clock this football.
Jalen DeVos on the carry. First down
Chains
and
have to get
4.
set before anything.
And now the whistle is blown, and they will clock the football. Of course, when you talk about the change, Rob, you're inside the 5.
Yeah,
so
it don't really
all you
matter.
got to do is throw that yardage or the
Yep.
down marker down there.
Sal doing a great job with this run game. I was surprised that they were able to get it down the field the way they were by just basically running the ball. They've done a great job of, utilizing that clock stoppage with the first downs, getting up, spiking the ball, and getting huge gains on the run.
I mean, Haverford, you expect, and we talked about it at the start of this drive, you expected LaSalle to come out and take some shots. Certainly that's what they were looking to do, was get the ball downfield through the air. But Haverford playing back the way they were, not offering a lot of pressure up front, that left room for Daly to pick up the gains that he did. And there again, you're kind of anticipating that Haverford's going to have coverage back and not really bringing much pressure, and you give the ball to DeVos and let him go to work up the middle. So LaSalle kind of taking the idea of what you're supposed to do in this situation and flipping the script.
All right, what do you do here, guys? You throw the football. I mean, if you get rid of it quick, you might get 3 plays out of it. Do you run it? If you run it, then you're certainly likely not going to get another snap.
Give me a fade to Diarra.
Daly makes one miss. Daly looking to get to the end zone. Touchdown LaSalle, and he certainly needed it. 4.6 to play. It was close. He dove for the goal line, and they gave him 6. LaSalle 23, Haverford 14 in the dying embers of the first half.
You say embers, we got smoke coming over onto the field, and it's not fireworks. You'd think it's coming from Sean Daly and this offense the way they've been playing. I think that's just a little backyard fire pit here tonight on homecoming.
Heck of a segue, Rob. I mean, just heck of a segue.
You set me up for it, man.
You were sitting on that.
Thank
jet
you
a
for it.
while.
I was waiting for it.
And up and good, 24-14. The first half ends with a flourish for the Explorers. And they lead by 10 here at homecoming. Still 4.6 to go. They'll have to kick it deep.
It's what we wanted to see. You wanted to see the offense go to work and get the ball in the end zone in the dying seconds of this half. And they did it in a rather unconventional way. They were on the field, backed up into their own end zone, go 3 and out, end up coming up with a big interception, giving themselves a much better field position, and then they worked the ball down the field pretty quickly, with less than a minute to go, and just a real tremendous way to go into the half. And obviously the half is not over yet. Still got a kickoff to manufacture here and work your way through, but you got to feel good if you're the Explorers going into halftime here on homecoming night.
By the way, Rob, you were not kidding about this smoke here.
You can see the fires from here, actually.
Only in high school football do you do you have a game affected because some bozo decides to have a bonfire in his backyard.
And I mean, it is blazing over there. You see it. It's like one pit on the left.
Are you kidding me?
3 on the right over there. I don't know what they're doing, but it is it's having an impact.
That guy's like, you're going to shine the light in my backyard on a Friday, Saturday evening when they have games here? I'll show you.
The Fire Pit Bowl, is that what we can call this?
You can call it
Got
whatever you
Fog
want.
Bowl,
Rob.
Fire pit gate.
Fire Pit Gate. Oh. Let it be known.
4.6 to play. That's an odd decision there. Haverford School just picks it up at the 50, and it's 4.3 to play. You get a quick out, get it out of bounds. Maybe you can take one shot at the end zone or You know,
Take a shot here.
I think getting far enough to kick a field goal on your next play could be tough, but at the very least, we've seen Ben Gerber be able to toss it deep.
I was expecting at least like a squib kick there. You know, put it down on the 20.
Anything but that.
Run out the clock a bit, but I'm very surprised at that.
All right, so now LaSalle's defense is going to have to go make one stop here. I'd say that it didn't go according to plan, but it looked as if that's exactly what LaSalle was trying to do. Gerber takes off with it inside the 40 and is taken down inside the 30. That's the end of the first half, and LaSalle leads 24-14.
May have to call the fire department at halftime here, clean up the smoke on the field. But the Explorers leave it, having a little bit of their own fireworks show on offense, putting up 24 points in that first half after what was an explosive start to the game. Just a great offensive first half. They end it with, doing some great work on defense as well. And, it's a nice start to this homecoming evening for the Explorers.
And a misty haze has made its way over Springfield High School as we transition to half. Certainly have enjoyed everybody being alongside, and the Explorers ending the first half on a 17-0 run, goes to the locker room happy. We'll take a break, come back on the other side, and this is LaSalle College High School football on Bob Long Sports, presented by the good folks over at Dunphy Ford in the Northeast. Welcome back to Springfield High School. It's halftime here. Bob Long, along with Rob Stott and Tyler Curran and Colin O'Hara, our broadcast team here tonight. It's a very special night for the Explorers. It's homecoming at Springfield High School. This is the site of many, many LaSalle games and lots of LaSalle football history over the years. In fact, in the second half, we're going to feature an On This Day special from September the 15th, the year 2000. Really interesting story. Stay tuned for that. But they're back here. It's homecoming, and there's a tremendous crowd on hand here today. And with just 2 weeks to go until the open house at LaSalle, that's the 30th of September, that's really a great opportunity for the school to showcase itself. That'll be from 9 a.m. to noon on the 30th. But here's another great opportunity to showcase itself. Look at the folks that have made their way out here. There's not a seat to be had, and as you go to the right there, I mean, it goes as far as the eye can see down there. A full house here tonight. In fact, if we swing it all the way around behind the stands and all the way down to the snack stand, you'll get a sense for just how many people are here. If we can zoom in there towards the snack stand, there's the team there. And a little bit to the right to there, you will see an absolutely packed area. A little bit dark right now, but there are thousands upon thousands of loyal LaSalle people and Haverford School people here tonight. It is a great night for football. Just a little bit of the scene, a little bit of the atmosphere that we have here at Springfield High School. And a wonderful evening for a team that's had a little bit of a tough start to the year, but have come back and played really, really well here in this first half, especially after giving up those first 2 touchdowns against Haverford School on their first 2 offensive drives. And I think a big part of that as well is the fact that this Haverford School team has only played the 1 game. They're 1-0 on the year. They won 12-6 against Northeast High School, but really there's no film out on these guys. And these Haverford School players and coaches came out with a great game plan. They punched LaSalle in the mouth a little bit, and LaSalle was able to come back, play really well in the second half of this first half, and put themselves in a good spot with that late score, up 24-14. Like we said, a beautiful night for football here at Springfield High School. We'll take one more break, come back for the beginning of the second half here on Bob Long Sports. All this presented by the wonderful folks over at Dunphy Ford in the Northeast. Welcome back, everybody. Beginning of the second half here from Springfield High School. Bob Long, Rob Stott, and Tyler Kern alongside Colin O'Hara on camera. And a big look at the scoreboard here as we begin the second half. Going to try our best not to nudge that thing, as it's been a little finicky with us here today, but it is 24-18 nonetheless. LaSalle leading over Haverford School, and by virtue of that big touchdown, Rob, at the end of the first half, now a lot of momentum as LaSalle receives the opening kickoff.
Yeah, big opportunity here. You always love getting the ball at the half, especially when you can close that first half out with your own touchdown. So quick opportunity here for the LaSalle Explorers to put another set of points up on the board and really extend this lead and start to put their foot on the throat of the Haverford School football team here tonight.
Manny Keelis back deep to receive. He'll take it at the 1. Up the middle of the field to the 25-yard line and nudged out of bounds just past there at about the 26. LaSalle will start the second half behind Sean Daly at quarterback. And they had a lot of success, especially midway through that first half, Tyler, giving the ball to Sam Brown and Abdul Carter on jet sweeps.
Yeah, I mean, Daly was really kind of elevating all of the Explorers' play, I would say, but having the support of Abdul Carter and Samuel Brown, they've really been bringing it, along with quite a few other LaSalle running backs, actually. They're really kind of elevating their running game right now, and there really is no need to pass.
Sean Daly pitches it out wide. And that is Sam Brown. Brown taken down after a gain of 3. First time we've seen him in a pure running back role next to Daly in the shotgun.
Yeah, I mean, that's about as much of a pass as you're going to get, a little pitch out. There hasn't been much passing at all, and I think we're going to see the Explorers just don't fix what's not broken. They're going to keep running the ball, pounding it down, try to run out the clock, and score some points.
Well, and the Haverford School has an impressive front 4, and really, I should say front 3 because they play the 3-4. But those guys are on the field every play. There's an opportunity to wear those guys down a little bit as you continue to run it up and down the field, which is what LaSalle is banking on.
Yeah, not much of a rotation, if anything, up front for Haverford. So, LaSalle, you want to come out here the second half, you're refreshed, rejuvenated. You want to put points up on the board, but you also, as we've been saying here on this drive, is wear down the clock, wear down this front 3.
There it is.
Yep.
Front 7, how about
front
that?
7, all of them. Wear them all down.
Whatever combination of down linemen and linebackers you'd like. Look at that block from Liam Tatlungari. And Sean Daly is out near the 50. Liam Tatlungari, the star of the play on that one. Just taking a linebacker right out of the play.
That is textbook.
Yeah, I thought that was really impressive. They really stacked the box there. They're stacking the box to try to prevent that run. And almost that whole D-line got sucked in, and Daly bounced right out and got a nice block and made a great gain there.
First down and 10 for the Explorers. Just shy of midfield. They break 3 receivers out to the near side. Here's the give. Manny Keelis finds a seam, continues running to the 25, down to the 20, stays in bounds and into the end zone. Touchdown, LaSalle. A 51-yard run from Keelis, and LaSalle's broken it open.
You got to feel so good for Manny Keelis. This is a kid that continues to just work on plays. I mean, never gives up, always churning, always cranking those legs, trying to get extra yardage, and to see him get out past all the blocks, get every defender behind him, and just be able to sprint out in front of wide open field and put the ball in the end zone. It just feels so good for him.
I love that little stutter step he had at the end. He had one guy to beat in the open field, beat him, and you could see he put full effort into that.
It's nice to see a play end where he's not taking a big hit.
And an offside will be called. A little bit too exuberant that time from Chris Sims. He got in there on the block, but was way offside.
Exuberant. That's a good vocab word, Bob.
It's still SAT season where I come from.
Mr. Hardy would be proud.
So now what do you do?
Kick
You
it
take
again.
the half the distance and kick it, or do you have some fun?
Yeah, you kick it.
Again, going up 18 doesn't do anything for you. And going up 17 takes the 2 possessions out of the equation, so the right decision made, and the Explorers tack on the extra point.
Yes, Explorers came out and played as best as they possibly could. They continued that momentum they got at the end of the first half, well into the second half, and they made that look easy. There wasn't a single pass, all running game, and I think we're going to see more and more of that because Haverford does not have an answer for this running game.
Clear that they wanted to chew up the clock. They wanted to keep the ball on the ground, wear down that defense, and they did wear them down. It just so happened that in the process they were able to break a 50-plus yard run in the run of that series and end up only taking 1 minute and 57 seconds off the clock here to open the second half.
Yeah, and LaSalle's defense has been staying off the field for the most part. They've made some great stops, and I think Bob might have been onto something with that wearing down that defensive front there. If this continues, I think we can see more and more big breaks like we just saw with Keyless there.
All right, folks, it's about time to play Where You At here tonight. Want to know where everybody's watching us from here this evening. It is a beautiful night in Springfield. We want to know where you're watching us from. So where you at, and we'll give you a shout on Twitter if you tweet at us, at Bob Long Sports. Nate Whitaker brings it out to the 29-yard line. A short kick that time from Gandolfo.
And this defense is gearing up to get back on the field, pick right up where they left off at the end of the first half.
And they should be relatively fresh. They've had quite a bit of a break. They were out there for that one interception play, and honestly, other than that, they probably had about 20, 30 minutes of time to catch their breath. They should be fresh, if not maybe a little rusty.
Here's Ben Gerber. He takes the shot, and actually, I take that back. That's the first time we've seen Dante Perry. So he comes in and he fires his first pass of the night. I thought Gerber played pretty well by and large, but it is a 2-quarterback system, and I think I was surprised in the first half that we didn't see any of Perry. So now, beginning of the second half, toss him out there.
Yeah, I mean, Gerber made some nice throws. There was some mistakes on the receivers' parts, but man, he was throwing some dimes. I'm interested to see what Perry can do.
And that should be a false start there. There was some coincidental movement, but it looked like Dan Whaley moved first, the wide receiver for the Haverford School, and that's the call.
Yep.
So, guys, I know we just said where you at, and I know we're waiting for the tweets to come in. There was one that I didn't get to when we were doing the North Penn game a couple weeks ago. That was Charles Roten, class of 2018. He was watching in North Carolina. I certainly hope if anybody's at North Carolina watching right now that we give them our best and hope that everybody's staying safe down there as Hurricanes Florence rips through. And, just hope that the damage down there is limited as much as possible. So shout out to Charles for watching us a couple weeks ago. Sorry that we didn't get that shout out that evening, but we do appreciate it.
That's the beauty of where you at. You get, even if you don't get the shout out, you get it a few weeks later.
Ooh. Straight up in the air, and it's incomplete. What a play there by Abdul Carter.
Excellent.
Untouched to the quarterback, sticks his hands up, and that could have been an even bigger play for the Explorers. That ball went way up in the air.
Excellent job of getting through the line, and I feel like that's a tough decision for any defensive player. You get through the line like that, clean on the quarterback. You want to make the hit, but you see him winding up. Smarter play there is to get up and make sure that ball doesn't get anywhere past the line of scrimmage and downfield for a potential catch. Where if you go in and try to make that tackle and he gets that ball out, could have been a gain, but swat it down. Don't let anything happen.
3rd down and long. 15 yards to go. They need the 39 for a first down. Swinging it out wide. They have a seam, but it's going to be bottled up right at the original line of scrimmage. Diane Hawkins taken down after a gain of 5, and the LaSalle defense stands up again.
LaSalle defense looking stout out there. They made a great stop. That play killed them on the first play of the game. It looked like the same exact play, and it's good to see them kind of learn from mistakes and kind of fix them and make a great stop.
Well, and as I mentioned at halftime, this is only Haverford School's 2nd game of the season. There's really no film on these guys. So they came out, and credit to this Haverford School team. They played very, very well. But LaSalle adjusted. We're going to let this one hop. It'll take a Haverford School bounce inside the 25-yard line to the 24, and that's where LaSalle's offense will take over.
And smart by Hardy there, waving off that punt. Saw it bouncing. Didn't see that happen last week. I maybe learned from his mistakes. I forget if it was him back there or someone else last week that waved it off and then decided to try to recover the ball, and it ended up going against them, and Malvern ended up with the ball. But that time there, just let it bounce. Get as far away from it as possible. Don't let anything crazy happen. And you know your offense has been on a roll, so let them get the ball in their hands and go to work.
Yeah, I completely agree, Rob. I mean, sometimes you just want to be able to make that play, but forcing it causes a bigger issue, and something like a turnover like we saw in Malvern.
Daly out there on 1st and 10. Here's the give, cutting up the field, and a really nice run that time from Jalen DeVos.
I love that stiff arm. He had a guy with him on the backfield, and he had a great stiff arm there.
Gain of 8, 2nd down and 2 upcoming.
And nice blocking as well, outside by Brown, the freshman, he's shown his abilities to get the ball on sweeps and, use his speed to his advantage and pick up yards for the Explorers, but also showing there he has the ability to line up outside and take a man and take him out of the play and open up a hole for his running backs, his fellow running backs.
A player for Haverford School is down right now. Looks like number 1, Jake Spencer. But we'll take this opportunity, and the PA addresser, Chris Carabello, reading my mind. An opportunity to remind everybody about the LaSalle Open House, which is September the 30th from 9 a.m. through 12:30 p.m. So if you're sitting there, you're a 7th grader, an 8th grader, even a 6th grader, and you're thinking, man, LaSalle might be a good spot for me. 1, it probably is. It's a tremendous place, I'll say that. And 2, it's a great opportunity to learn. Really a great opportunity to meet a lot of the faculty, see the campus, see the curriculum and everything that goes into a LaSalle education inside and outside of the classroom. That's September the 30th from 9 o'clock in the morning till 12:30 in the afternoon.
Which leaves you half an hour to get home for the Eagles game, so no worries there.
Perfect. Here's the give to Manny Keelis, and Manny Keelis is wrapped up in the backfield. Nice tackle there by number 53 for the Haverford School, Anthony Hans.
I think Haverford might have had a hint that it was going to be a run play there. they were in the backfield, made a great wrap-up, great tackle, and now it puts LaSalle in a 3rd and 4 situation.
8:06 to play. The clock ticks. A 17-point lead for LaSalle, 24 unanswered since the first quarter. Third down and 3 after that loss of 1. Keelis in the backfield with Sean Daly. Only 3 men in the front, so they give it right up the middle and an easy first down for Manny Keelis. The offensive line did the job, and Keelis finished the run.
That is what has become sort of those typical Manny Keelis runs. Just you got a pile of 10 guys on you, and he's carrying them. He's got the offensive line pushing him from behind, and picking up solid chunky yards and keeping the chains moving for the Explorers.
He's a workhorse. I love that effort. Keeps moving his legs, and he got some push there from his offensive line for this extra yards. Great team effort there.
And Keelis remains in the backfield. Looking to take the weight on his shoulders here offensively. The give again to Keelis. Keelis breaks through the hole. Keelis makes one miss. And he's carrying a defender on his back inside the 35-yard line. A huge run.
A huge hit at the end of that run, but don't worry, Manny Keelis will get up. He loves, I feel like he feeds off of those big hits. Gets up, runs a little harder the next time he gets the ball, and just another example of, him finding holes in the front, getting through them, being a little shifty guy, and, like we've been saying, the true workhorse for this Explorers offense.
He was dragging a man for 3 or 4 yards there. That was, like I said, just like last play. He was pumping his legs. He kept moving them, and good things happen when you're running back and you keep moving your legs.
Just does not quit.
And great vision as well. I mean, was patient in the backfield, then realized the gap in between the guard and tackle was the place to go. But really staying low, right? He's not a tall guy, but he has the ability to stay low, understand where that seam is, and then hit it really hard. And then, of course, he finishes his run as well as anybody out there.
Yeah, really did a great job of making himself skinny there. In that hole, he went through it sideways almost and made a huge gain and showed a great second effort.
Number 4, Diane Hawkins is up. Good to see, as he was down on the play for some time. It is a beautiful night for football here at Springfield High School, and LaSalle is starting to take over. The fans are starting to feel it.
Yeah, now that Fire Pit Gate has been ended quickly by most likely, I don't know who would that be, the Springfield Fire Department?
They're both right across the street, so one way or the other.
It was up for grabs.
Might have been a combination of both.
Yeah, good team effort by them as well.
LaSalle still has plenty of fireworks though on the field here tonight.
Here is the give. Jalen DeVos cuts inside and runs hard to past the 25-yard line. That's a gain of 8.
Both of these running backs, really it's been, a four-headed monster in the backfield, but it's clear that, two workhorses are kind of taking the load as the night has gone on, and that's DeVos and Keyless, and they have both just, it's been 1-2 punch. They both kind of have a similar, I feel, running style. We kind of see that they're both very powerful runners, small to the ground, and are just really doing the job on this Haverford School front seven.
LaSalle leads 31-14, 6:14 to play, third quarter. They march down the field. And a flag.
False start. Nope.
And it's encroachment against the Haverford School. So first down, LaSalle with a 5-yard penalty.
And I think what we're seeing with these running backs, like we said, their athletic ability is really shining tonight. You can see how well they're playing. But I think Daly is keeping the defenders honest, because Daly can choose to hand that off or keep it for himself, and we've seen what he can do out in the open field. So you focus on, say, like Abdul Carter there, and then Daly decides to hold it and gets a huge gain for 15, 20 yards.
Sam Brown is on the outside. Watch him if he might come in motion here. Instead, it's Manny Keyless in motion. The give is to him. He cuts right up the middle, bounces off his own guy, and runs for 8 yards inside the 15 to the 12.
Excuse me, freshman. Get out of my way. That was Manny Keyless bumping off of Brown and picking up a few yards, 8 yards, 9 yards on first down, and
a little bit of friendly fire there.
Used that momentum and sprung himself forward, did Keyless.
I think that's exactly how they wrote it up.
Second down and short. They call it 2 to go at the 12-yard line. Shotgun formation once again, 3 receivers to the outside. Daly keeps it and gets enough for that first down inside the 10-yard line to the 9. It'll be first and goal for the Explorers.
Like I said, they had their eyes focused on, I'm not sure who the running back was, maybe Keyless there, but Daly saw it was open, decided to keep it for himself, got the easy first down. I don't know how, as a defender, you can keep track of all these different running backs / quarterbacks.
I know you want a comfortable lead here and you want to keep going with what's been working, but 3 scores, you're up. Maybe take a shot. I'd love to see them, ever since the first drive of the game, they've been unable to get the ball in Diarra's hands. I'd love to see them try.
Instead, it's a give to DeVos. He'll walk to the end zone. Touchdown, LaSalle. Everybody getting in on the action here tonight. This time, Jalen DeVos, the junior back.
He's so excited he spun into the end zone there.
Little acrobatics there at the end of the run. Just an excellent job by the offensive line, opening a hole up the middle, sticking their men to the ground and letting DeVos get up the middle and pounding that ball into the end zone. And LaSalle starting to run away with this one.
37-14, Gandolfo on to attempt the point after. Another good pickup that time, up and good. Wasn't a good snap, but picked up well by the backup quarterback, Gavin Daly.
It's positions like that, they're critically important. They seem so minor in the grand scheme of things, but just having the ability to pick that up perfect placement for the kicker Gandolfo, who's just like a machine tonight.
So checking in, we got some fans of Liam Tatlingari coming in from Tacoma, Washington. Roy Tatlingari, something tells me they may be related. Roy Tatlingari checking in from probably the furthest point you can get to in the continental U.S.
Continental U.S. Thanks
Tacoma,
for checking in, Roy.
Washington.
That, you're really putting yourself out on a limb there, Rob. Unless you know where within Washington State Tacoma is. Me, I would have just said Tacoma, Washington. That's a long ways away.
It's pretty far. It's pretty far.
And we're definitely starting to see LaSalle's offense have some sort of identity tonight. The identity just happens to be run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And I think you're right, Rob. I would like to see some passes because you don't want to get too one-dimensional. Some other teams, like St. Joe's Prep, for example, they'll be able to stuff that run, and you got to be able to do both.
This is a good chance now to really, start to experiment with.
This could be trouble here, boys. Good pickup there.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt there, Rob, but I immediately saw that
Yep.
could have been trouble, and a really good play by Nate Whitaker.
All good. Yeah, that.
All good. Just don't let it happen again.
No, that was a unique play there. Gandolfo, little pop up, kind of a long onside kick. Offsides kick. Can you imagine what's an offsides kick?
Little pooch
punt.
kick. There it is.
Could have been recovered. They had an opportunity there. They just a nice job by Haverford recognizing that and getting up to the ball.
I like that kick, by the way. That was a good kick by Gandolfo.
I mean, it's good. It's a good one to keep in the bag of tricks. Perry swings it out wide, and here's some room to the outside. Bryce Broadus out of bounds at the 50. First down, Haverford School.
It's important for this defense. Obviously, the score being what it is, this defense needs to stay in this game. It's not over yet. Long way from over. Got a little more than a quarter and a half to go. A little less than a quarter and a half to go. But you don't want to give Haverford any thoughts of getting back into this one. So you really want to see them kind of close out with a clean game here the rest of the way.
Tight formation here. Just one receiver to the outside on the near side. And LaSalle read that one beautifully. What a play by Ryan Savage getting in the backfield.
Excellent job of, busting through his man, getting into the backfield and really blowing that play up.
And that's one where a lot of times on a pure read option like that, sometimes you intentionally leave that defensive end unblocked and kind of force him to make a decision. I don't know, maybe you nudge him at the line a little bit because that time didn't work out so well. Leaving him unblocked meant I'm pretty much going to tackle both the quarterback and the running back at the same time, a la Sam Hubbard at Ohio State last year.
That's a good approach to the RPO as a defensive end.
Just get after it. Tackle them both.
Big bear hug.
Second down and long. Perry slings it, and not turning for it in time was Dan Whaley. A little bit off kilt, these two. And Perry's been slinging it. Certainly can get it out there well, but hasn't been able to really connect yet.
Great approach there by Abdul Carter. He put pressure on Perry and made him make a throw that he probably didn't want to make.
Maybe a little bit earlier than he wanted to.
Yeah.
Yep. By the way, I know also see that we have Nancy DeJani, longtime viewer, checking in as well. Appreciate her watching. So between her and Roy, certainly appreciate everybody tweeting in at Bob Long Sportsman. Give you a shout on the air because we know there's a lot more of you out there watching. We see the numbers. And we appreciate everybody from far and wide checking in tonight. So shoot us a tweet at Bob Long Sports and let us know where you're watching from. That's where you at.
Is it where you at or where you at?
Rob?
Where you at? It's where you at.
How do you spell that?
Where you at?
That's how you say it.
That's how you spell it as well. Spell it how you want to spell it. This is where you at. WHERE yat. Where yat?
Have a little fun up here tonight.
I'm gonna say it's the smoke's fault. Coming over. I know it's cleared out, but it's certainly gotten in my head.
I hope there's a full-blown investigation into fire pit gate.
Fire. Oh.
I'd like to see that guy's like football allegiances. Like if,
I want
he has like
I want him to
certain high
check
school
in
football
on.
flags hanging up in his
He needs
house.
to check in on where he at. Let me know. Let me know where he at. I'm watching from right across the street from the football field. We're at Springfield, PA.
Oh, my goodness. Perry fires it long. And in and out of the hands. There is a flag. There was some hand fighting, and Frank Joyce doesn't believe it, but I think he'll be tagged for pass interference.
Dante Perry's passing complete.
High school football flags hanging from his patio. That's good stuff there, Tyler. I tell you what, that one didn't go unnoticed.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. I'm a skeptic at heart. I like. You never know. People have motivation for the smallest things.
That's fair.
Probably a prep fan.
Well, we still need a nickname for you, so maybe we can work Skeptical Cynic
okay.
in there or something.
I mean, maybe the guy just liked marshmallows and just wanted some s'mores tonight.
It's fair.
Yeah.
S'more what?
Ah.
First down, Haverford School.
First you roast the mallow. Then you put the chocolate on the mallow. Then you add the graham. First down and 10. Perry knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Ryan Savage continues to make himself a part of this second half. Everybody know what that line was from, by the way? Come on. What's the line from?
Sandlot?
Thank you. Sandlot.
That's the only s'mores reference I can think of in a movie.
Probably the only one.
Interesting. Perry's back out.
What, do you think they might have been making a switch?
Yeah. I just saw him go off the field.
It might not be as far away as you think.
Yeah.
LaSalle clearly ratcheting it up defensively. Only rushing 4. Quick drop and throw. Dan Whaley continues to fight off the tackler and run out of bounds inside the 20.
That was almost another deflection there. This time it would have been by Paul Jennings. He was right there. I think he just managed to squeak through his arms and gave Haverford a much-needed first down.
So they put it right on the 20. First and 10. Dante Perry back out from the sideline. Haverford School trying to get a score back. It's 31 unanswered for LaSalle, and Haverford School trying to get back in it.
First down, Haverford School.
Matt Carlino, number 86, in motion. Here's the give to the outside, and Logan Keller taken down all in one motion. What a play by Dylan Traynor.
He was blocked from the side and made an incredible athletic dive and finger strength.
Got that hand
Grabbed
up.
the jersey.
Without getting it was not a horse collar.
Was
it was
not.
a legal tackle. Pulled him down.
Yeah.
Got close to it, but was it? Had a hand on the shoulder pad, not in the shoulder pad.
Yeah,
so
fistful of jersey there. That was a really athletic play.
Second down and 9. That was a gain of 1. Keller again is in the backfield. Whaley in motion. Perry fires over the head.
Aww.
And 2 flags come right at the feet of Tyson Goldstein. It was intended for Matt Carlino, and they say Goldstein, a little bit too much contact.
Goldstein looked like he was using the shoulder pad there as he jumped to swat the ball down. He was kind of going over everyone, but put a hand on the receiver these days, you're going to get yellow thrown at you. He had it coming at him from every direction. So
now, if you argue that's uncatchable, which I think if he had the ability to jump, he might have gotten a hand on it, but truly that ball could have been ruled uncatchable, which would have picked up the flag. It's not like defensive holding where that doesn't matter. But I think the right call, and they get half the distance to the goal inside the 10. Tight formation here for the Haverford School. Perry drops back. Perry fires to the end zone, and Perry hits his man. Touchdown, Bryce Broadus. A really good throw from Dante Perry. And now an Explorer's hurt in the end zone. Don't like to see that.
Zaire McLaurin, number 11, who was in on the coverage there.
And it really wasn't bad coverage at all from McLaurin. It was just a good touch pass. The ball was out as Broadus was making that cut. And then by the time he turned, the ball was coming right at him. And McLaurin, it really wasn't bad coverage at all.
I agree, Bob. That was a great pass by Perry there. He put it right on the money. gave a ball that was catchable for the receiver and not the defender, and the rest is history there.
I see the kicker out for Haverford, but is this a situation, go for two, make it a two-possession game, or you just playing, you want a point on the board? I mean, it's the difference between 17 and 16.
Yeah, I think I'd be going for it at this point, understanding that if you get that 2-point conversion, it can be a two-possession game. I think that's a great point you bring up.
Maybe that's something you do if the stakes are a little higher. They score a few more. Maybe
But you can't go back and do it. Now you got to score 3 more times.
That's true.
Once you attempt this point after. Now, the only thing you could say is it's a little bit early, still in the third quarter. But again, 12-minute quarters in high school can go pretty quickly. There's just not that many possessions left in this game.
The thing you're doing there, I guess, if you go for it and convert it, obviously you're assuming that you're going to go ahead then and convert 2 more 2-point conversions.
Correct. That is correct.
So
that is what you're doing.
Maybe a bit of a stretch. Feel more comfortable settling for a 1 point there. I mean, it's one way or the other. If you miss one of those 2-point conversions down the road, it's still a 3-possession game. Feel more comfortable with your kicker.
Now there's some confusion on the LaSalle sideline, sending another man out to the kick unit, or the kick return unit, I should say.
Yeah, especially those younger guys. You never want to be that guy that's caught out last, because that usually means you forgot to go out in the field, and you're going to get an earful from the coach a little later.
Indeed.
Putting Justin Machida, did we see him out?
We did.
Returning kicks earlier?
We did.
Staying back out there. Sophomore.
As is Manny Keelis.
Chris Clark to kick off for Haverford School. Deep for the Explorers.
Chris Clark will kick it deep for Haverford School. And here's a pooch punt as well, or pooch kick, I should say. And Machida's taken down at the 30. That's where the Explorers will take off.
I like Machida's aggressiveness there. That was a great kick, actually. And he came up on it quick, let it bounce, tracked the ball, brought it in, and got a 3 or 4 yard gain after he caught it.
One more shout on Where Yat. Is that right, Rob? Where Yat?
Where
Yat? Terry Long watching from Ocean City, Maryland. So appreciate that. And where you at? Still taking them, Rob, right?
We are, all night. All night.
Tweet us at Bob Long Sports. Tell us where you're watching from. Manny Keelis runs and continues to push the legs forward. A 3-yard gain, but very impressive.
Ref's kind of starting to blow that whistle, or I know it was a pile there, but the way we've seen Keelis run, I feel like you can never really blow the whistle on him. Pile was kind of going forward, sideways, I don't know. Let him run. Let him move that pile.
Let the boys play out there, huh?
Do it.
Attaboy, Rob. 2nd down and 7. $1:43 to play, third quarter. LaSalle 38-21 lead over the Haverford School, live from Springfield High School. By the way, they got to go back to this home field. This is a tremendous atmosphere here tonight. Swinging it out wide. Nice catch from Sam Brown. And Sam Brown is taken down behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of 1.
Good coverage there by Haverford. Brown has shown his athleticism throughout the night when he's had the ball. But they're able to wrap him up there before he's able to get out in open field.
Yeah, I mean, great job of defense recognizing that screen to the right there. They were just on him right away, and that play didn't really have a chance from the beginning.
3rd down, they say 9 yards to go. Under 1 minute to play in the third quarter. There's nobody out there guarding Hardy. Now it's sprinting over is Bryce Broadus. And a movement on the offensive line for LaSalle. It'll be a false start.
Those hard counts are difficult, especially in high school. You got so much to worry about. Your blocking assignments. When the ball's getting snapped, is something that seems minor, but when you forget it's on 2 instead of 1, it's a critical mistake. It's something that you can't really be doing on 3rd and 9.
So now it's 3rd and 14. Big ups. I don't think we mentioned this yet here tonight. Always try to let people know what Tyler's background is. He was a first-team All-Catholic defensive end for LaSalle back in 2012, part of the state championship winning team in 2009. Very honored to have him on the broadcast here tonight and all season long.
Thanks, Bob. That means a lot. It's always great to be here. It's a great night for football.
It is.
Some Saturday night lights, kind of get to relive the glory days, as they say, the golden years.
Golden years are still ahead of you, my friend. Don't think that way. And that is the end of the third quarter. Your score, LaSalle 38, Haverford School 21. We'll take a break and come back on the other side. You are watching LaSalle College High School football live here on BLS, and it's all brought to you by our partners at Dunphy Ford. And back to action quickly. A good punt from Jake Gandolfo. But here's a return, and it's a big one. Nobody going to touch him. Touchdown, Haverford School, taken back by Jake Spencer.
That, as LaSalle, you can't give that up at this point in the game, beginning of the fourth quarter. Great punt by Gandolfo. It's just none of the guys were able to make it down. None of the gunners were able to give a challenge to the return there.
And that's why, we talked, I mentioned at the start of the last defensive drive that ended up in a touchdown. You can't rest on this game as a defense because anything can happen in football. And, they go down, score a touchdown, turn it right around, and turn a special teams play into some points. And all of a sudden, start of the fourth quarter, we got ourselves a game.
Yeah.
38-27. Chris Clark on to attempt the point after. Snap is down. Not a good-looking kick, but it sneaks inside the left upright, and it's a 10-point game here at Springfield. The Haverford School, just like that, strikes twice. The second time on special teams, and they are right in this football game.
Quick 14 unanswered. So now time for LaSalle to turn it around on offense and reach back for a little bit of that magic they had at the end of the first half, start of the second half, and, answer. They need a big answer here.
Momentum is certainly shifting in Haverford's favor right now. And in football, momentum's huge. If Haverford keeps this up, they could certainly tie or gain the lead here. LaSalle needs to kind of have that X-factor play. They need to make a big play on defense, kind of shift that tide and, kind of push it in the Explorers' favor.
One more where you at. We have Drew Ansel watching from Columbus, Ohio, way out there in the great state of Ohio, Flatland, USA, and we appreciate him checking in. We'll see how those Buckeyes are going to do against the Nittany Lions in a couple weeks.
They'll have Urban back at that point. This was his last week without him, right?
That's right. First game back for Urban Meyer.
In Happy Valley?
It's in Happy Valley. The kick is deep. Here's Keelis. Keelis busts it to the outside and taken down at the 29. Good job defending on special teams by Haverford. And now LaSalle's going to have to come out and answer a little bit after getting punched in the gut the last couple minutes. And I think it's important, score or not, to have a couple first downs here, Tyler, and to bleed a little bit of clock and kind of reestablish that dominance on the offensive line.
Yeah, it's critical. First off, not to get a turnover here, and second, to kind of start running off that clock a little bit. They've been doing so well with this running game, they can really utilize that to run off the clock.
Right up the middle, Jalen DeVos. He continues to churn the legs, a gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and 9, or 2nd and 1, excuse me.
If you're looking for a response drive, I mean, do what's been working all night, and that's giving the ball off to your running backs, your workhorse running backs. Let them work up the middle and pick up a solid 9 yards on first down.
Yeah, I would take 9 yards on first down every time. That's not a bad gig.
It's not bad at all.
It's keeping you on schedule.
And they give it right back to DeVos. Big run from DeVos out across the 40, almost to the 45-yard line. A gain of 7 and another LaSalle first down.
And this might be the point of the game where we start seeing that fatigue set in for the Haverford defense. They've been getting worked over all night by LaSalle's offensive line, by their running backs. And, when it comes down to crunch time, this could be where it really makes a difference.
Yes, so far LaSalle doing a great job of keeping the ball going down the field. I think they should keep this momentum going, and I would expect more runs. Just a hunch.
Here is the give again. Jalen DeVos right up the middle and continues to gash this Haverford School defense. It's exactly the response they needed after 2 quick touchdowns from Haverford.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about the athletic prowess of the running backs, but the offensive line is just kind of bullying that defensive front.
Exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, they're pushing them off the ball, and it's just certainly giving the running backs a little more to work with.
And looking up and down the line, it doesn't look like they have that much of a size advantage either. It's just they've been working them all night.
If it ain't broke, Jalen DeVos, a huge run down inside the 30-yard line.
There was a huge gap on the left end there. Great job by the tackle-guard combination, just opening that up for DeVos, and DeVos did the rest.
It's 4 in a row and his longest of the drive right there. And this Explorer offense, I mean, we wanted a response. We've got it.
Yeah.
Just keep turning around and handing the ball off to number 6. Comes out for a much-needed break.
Yeah.
Water break there.
Agreed, and clock's running down. 9.5 minutes to go. Explorer's doing everything right this drive thus far. Just have to avoid costly mistakes.
And Jalen DeVos, can't stress enough how important this is for him. He was the starting running back for the first couple of games. Keelis came back into the lineup, and it could have really been a one-back type system. Perhaps Sam Brown comes in and takes some more snaps. But Jalen DeVos has continued to show his value to this team and has just played tremendous football. And this drive probably the greatest example of that. And so I know that's big for him. I know that's big for this team to provide that second option at the running back position. So while we do this here, guys, kind of forgot about the loyal followers on Facebook as well. We were talking about all our Twitter folks that are watching, but a big shout out to Carol Haggerty watching. Couldn't make the game, so she appreciates it. She's at a lot of these games, but in the odd event that someone can't make it, I'm happy to document and report that we can provide you some coverage. Bob McCrate says he's checking in. His parents are at the parents of their grandson. So Bob's grandson, they're watching him as their parents are at a wedding, so he can't make the game. He's out here. Big shout from Robin McIntosh watching in Avalon. Appreciate that. And that flag will bring that one back into the backfield as, unfortunately, there was holding on the outside by the left tackle. But last one here is we have a legend watching right now. I mentioned him early. Pat Devine is watching.
Wow.
Now, he's local here. He lives in Portland, Oregon, but he's back because he was inducted into the LaSalle Hall of Athletics. 40 years as the track and field and cross-country coach for the Explorers. And just a tremendous, tremendous guy, big impact on my life. He coached me for 4 years, so I am very happy to see that he's watching and very appreciative that he has earned his rightful spot in the Hall of Athletics. But now it's first down and long. They give it to Manny Keelis on the jet sweep, tries to cut up the middle off tackle, and he gets to about the 31-yard line, gain of a couple.
Manny Keelis on the carry.
And the important thing is that the clock's still running. So we've got 9 minutes and change to go here. Under 9 minutes now, and this Explorers offense is really, I think at this point, obviously you want points on the board, but you really want to burn as much time off of that clock as possible.
So it'll be second down and 14 from the Haverford 31-yard line. They need the 17-yard line for a first down. Empty set. Keyless in motion. Kept by Daly. Well read by the Haverford School, and they'll wrap him up after a gain of about 2. And they won a late hit there as Daly was hit as he was going to the ground, perhaps even on the ground already. And Joe Wade giving the referee an earful.
Yeah, I could see that from here, Bob. That was, wow. You could hear him even with these headphones on. You know, Joe Wade's giving that ref an earful.
Hey, let's talk about Joe Wade for a second here. They kept this simple tonight offensively. And I think there were times they had a little bit of personnel issues. And listen, it's still a young team. They're replacing 11 starters on offense. There's only 11 people on the field, so they're replacing everybody. And so you're learning a lot about your personnel. So 0-3 doesn't really tell the story. They got back to basics, a simple game plan, and put their athletes in space, like this guy, Manny Keyless. Getting to the outside, it's a gain of about 4 as he runs over a guy as he heads out of bounds. And it'll be fourth down. Interesting decision here at about the 25-yard line. It would be a 42-yard field goal. Do they trust Gandolfo from there? He certainly has the leg. But that's a lot to ask from an accuracy standpoint. Looks like they leave the offense on the field.
It's a lot to ask him, but also you got to think on the other side. If it does miss, you're giving Haverford the ball and 7 yards back from where it's snapped. So slightly better field position than where it's at now. Leave the offense on, maybe pick up a few yards, pick up that first down, and turn this into a drive that gets some points. 5
receivers for the Explorers. And look at this play.
Philly special!
Why not? Philly.
Hey!
Sean Daly to the house. Off the pass from Liam Tatlangari.
Where have we seen that one before? Loving the call. Loving the play. Loving the design.
I feel like Mike Quick. I'm a loss for words just doing that goofy laugh. That was... Wow.
Looking to our left, the entire booth of LaSalle coaches is just smiling, and rightfully so. I mean, that was just an unbelievably drawn-up play, just executed perfectly. I mean, it screams Eagles, and I love it. That just makes it that much more special.
Fourth down as well, Rob?
Fourth down, everything right about that play, and it is just...
Who would have thought the biggest pass of the night would not have come from Daly?
Unbelievable. The extra point is up and good. And this building's got a little bit of juice in it right now. Philly to the house.
I can see why that play amped the link up so much. Wow, I'm ready to run through a wall.
I feel like I'm in Minnesota right now, and I just watched that play from the 1 yard line. It looks so beautiful in person.
You know what's also great about that, and Sean Daly gives you this flexibility? He could be the best pass catcher on this team. He started the season as a wide receiver that would occasionally go into the Wildcat. Now he's your starting quarterback, and he's catching balls off really just a tremendous play call.
That's awesome. That's just awesome. I mean, it's incredible. It's one of those plays that you got to – you think back to the press conference after week 1, after the Falcons game, and Doug Peterson talking about, bringing that play back out against the Falcons. And the situation has to be right. The personnel have to be right. The defense, the way they line up, has to be right. And it checked all the boxes there. So it was the perfect time to call it. Go for it. It's one of those boom or bust kind of plays where, the positives that you can get out of a play like that if it goes well and you execute perfectly. I mean, we saw it. It's a touchdown, and it just completely changes the momentum of this game.
For lack of a better term, it was awesome.
Yeah. Long story short, it was fantastic.
Caught over the shoulder by Jake Spencer, and he trips down at the 25.
This makes me smile. I wonder what they had that called. What the name of that is on their play sheet. Is it Philly? Is it Sally? LaSalle? Some of that LaSalle special?
Might have to be a post-game interview question.
45-28, 7:22 to play fourth quarter. Intercepted! Abdul Carter goes up and gets it.
Strong play by Abdul Carter. We've been seeing him go up and knock those balls down all night, this defensive front, and that time they come down with it, thrown right into his stomach.
That is incredibly difficult.
And that is just something special.
Coming from a defensive end, he says that's incredibly difficult.
Catching a ball, other than the fact that I have brick hands, that just being able to catch the ball from point blank like that, wow. Abdul Carter is an athlete. He's shown that all night, and he's shown it again. I really, like I said, they needed a big play to kind of shift that momentum, and it started off with that.
It's full tilt right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't really, momentum doesn't shift much more than this, boys.
Two backs in the backfield. The give is to Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter runs through a defender. He keeps the legs moving and is inside the 10. That's a gain of 9.5, maybe 10 yards, and is enough for a LaSalle first down.
Makes the interception and is running for the attempting to run for the touchdown. That's awesome. That's not something you see every day.
This is, I mean, I think back to over the past 4 years. This is year 4 of calling these games, and I mean, we've seen it all tonight. I can't think of a game that has felt, just more special than this one, and the stuff LaSalle's thrown out. This has been a really fun game to call.
Here is the give. Abdul Carter, the freshman, trying to get to the end zone, dives home. Touchdown, LaSalle.
And just like that, you give up 14 unanswered to Haverford. You need to do something. You need an answer, and LaSalle, these Explorers have done it, putting two excellent drives together of their own, and momentum.
Yeah,
it's theirs.
I think our cameraman Colin O'Hara is a good luck charm. He's doing a great job his first night, and right when he came, it kind of shifted.
Man, I tell you what. Well, we're always looking for more talented camera folks, Colin. Just saying. That kick went wide, so as soon as you brought up how well he was doing.
Go find some wood and knock on it, please.
51-28, though, as LaSalle leads this one over Haverford. And what a flourish in the last 3 minutes of football. Philly from the LaSalle Explorers, followed by a great interception.
I'd like to apologize to all LaSalle fans for jinxing it on that kick there.
So we just got word from the booth, by the way. It is the Philly special in the playbook. So
that's what it is. I mean, that's what it was.
It was absolutely it. So
when your
unbelievable.
When your hometown team wins the Super Bowl, it inspires even the younger guys to make those plays. How about that?
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
That's really good stuff. 6:39 to play. And LaSalle has wrestled the momentum right back. It was just a 10-point game a few minutes ago.
Taking off for the kickoff for the Explorers. Deep for Haverford, number 23, Kai Williams, and number 24, Nate Whitaker.
A squib kick picked up by Nate Whitaker. Whitaker is hit hard. He stays on his feet. Look at him go, getting to the sideline. And out past the 35-yard line. There was a flag that came in late. But, man, Nate Whitaker says, pop, man.
Whitaker popped 3 guys in a row there. He lowered his shoulder. Wow, there's
number 26.
Good football going on tonight here, guys.
26, Tommy Mailman. LaSalle was the initial, guy down there and just lowered his shoulder right into him. Just bounced right off of it. Man, that was a strong run.
Coming back, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately for Haverford School, it was a block in the back. Came in right at the tail end of the play, too. Really didn't need it. The flag came in at about the 30-yard line. So now they're going to spread it out wide. 5 receivers. Looks like Perry still in there at quarterback. Dante Perry fires over the middle, intercepted by the Explorers. A lot of room to run for TJ Meacham. Meacham to the 10. Meacham to the end zone.
Oh, just give it to him, but it looks like they're going to mark it out.
They're marking him inside the 1.
I went from having flashbacks to the Super Bowl to having flashbacks to the Vikings game.
Oh, they gave it to him. A late call. Whoa. Touchdown, LaSalle.
They even had that guy representing Ronald Darby who got laid out for the good of the touchdown. I loved it.
That's incredible.
Yeah, not to bring Eagles football into this, but man, that getting some goosebumps.
Hey, LaSalle coaches started it, man, with the Philly.
Yeah, it's well, we have confirmation that it was the Philly special.
That's right. They are synonymous.
They are one and the same. Nick Foles, they call it Philly, and then called it Philly special. So I understand the the confusion.
You want Philly?
That's legendary.
The kick is up and good. 58-28.
Wow. Just like that.
TJ Meacham takes it back 47 yards for a touchdown.
LaSalle has opened this game up. 2 key interceptions, a crazy trick play. Wow, it's crazy how much the momentum can shift in what was only 3 minutes in game time.
Do you remember a game? You've been around this program a long time, Tyler, where they've scored 58 points? I mean, that's a lot of points in a 48-minute football game.
I maybe can think of my time there one high-scoring game that we might have had, but it was completely lopsided. It didn't end up like – at first, this game was very close. And then also
10-point game 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It really was. It's been, I think, 3 minutes in game time. Like, really, wow.
I'm having trouble recalling it, but we were looking at that on this day.
Yes.
LaSalle going up against the Moscow Patriots.
Yep, and we're going to get that next stoppage here. You have a tremendous mind. I tell you, Rob, we're on the same page.
It's that telepathy.
Score of that one, I think, reflected a little bit of this.
Yes,
if I remember,
indeed.
right?
Yes, indeed. It was a long one. I don't think we have time for it right in between here, but we're going to cue this one up. On this day, it's a really nice feature presented by Bill Wasilenko, the LaSalle football historian. He's been doing this for a long time for LaSalle. We got together before the season and said, let's pay homage to the history of LaSalle. And he said, on this day, let's do a 30-second feature in these games that we can highlight. And, of course, we mentioned in the North Penn game that history of that rivalry, which in the regular season has almost always taken place on that last weekend in August. So now we'll show some other great history for LaSalle. Wheel play. Ooh. Intercepted. Did he keep the feet in? He did. LaSalle's got it. And it's number 9, Tyson Goldstein.
Is that 3 passes in a row that have been intercepted?
I want to say yes.
It's at least 2. The last 2 pass attempts have been intercepted. It might be 3. This is unreal. That's
impressive.
Absolutely impressive defense.
Yeah.
Wow.
These last few minutes by the LaSalle Explorers.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Tyson Goldstein gets the interception. Time 4 on this day in LaSalle football history. And we're back to it here. It's Byron Hopkins up the middle. Gain of 5. First time we've seen Hopkins under center today. This is a guy that they have a lot of high hopes for. So a timeout is called by the Haverford School. We'll take you right back to on this day in LaSalle football history. You saw it right, folks. You saw it right. The Moscow Patriots coming over from Russia.
How about
in the year
that?
2000.
I didn't even know that.
Bill Wassilenko digging it up from the depths.
His history of LaSalle football is amazing. He sends out all these emails. He's put together player cards for every single player that's ever played in LaSalle. Has every game history, every all Catholic. He lives, breathes.
He's the man.
Yeah, LaSalle football. It's insane. I always look forward to his emails. And at this point, I'd like to give a shout out to Where You At to Dan Marcator and Alex Weber. They're watching together, probably somewhere in Philly. They're huge LaSalle fans. Alex Weber is part of Pep Band. And Dan, I think, played some cowbell in Pep Band as well. And that's critical, man.
You need the cowbell. You
the
can
Pep Band
never,
is awesome.
ever
And,
have
I
enough.
appreciate those guys watching tonight. So thanks for checking into Where You At, guys. Where You At? Sorry.
Where you at?
Where's Byron Hopkins at? A 15-yard run to the outside. Scampers for another LaSalle first down. I mentioned it as well. I mean, this is a guy, he's coming in very young as well. He's a freshman quarterback already standing at 6 foot tall. And talking to some of these coaches, they think he's the next big thing.
How about that?
And he gets an opportunity. I mean, this is huge. You come out on homecoming night, so you get an opportunity to work and do what you can and get some game experience here. Which could be crucial, later on in the season, coming down the stretch. You never know what can happen.
5:19 on the clock. Hopkins hands it off right up the middle. Good run there from Matthew Bowes. He's a sophomore. He gets a touch up the middle. Gain of 7.
I am still amped up from that Philly special play. I mean,
Has a way of doing that to you. It's unreal. It really is.
Those interceptions help too, but wow. That was cool. My eyes got all wide, and yeah, mouth was probably
You
agape.
see the one toss, and then the other one's coming, and you're like, oh, no, they're doing it.
I know.
And then the pass, and it just
Got the
falls
pick
into.
six. Wow, this is a good night for LaSalle football.
Yeah.
Really showed up for homecoming.
Bowes the deep back. Byron Hopkins in the shotgun.
Whoa.
And a mishandled snap. And it's going to be Haverford football. Diving on it for the Haverford Fords was Ben Murphy.
Yeah, just
That's when once it goes through your hands for your Hopkins, you got to get on the ground.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
try to pick it up and do something. Just get on the ground.
he was watching the football there, man. He gave it up. It's obviously there's a lack of communication between the center and the quarterback there. Maybe it was a bad snap, but you got to try to correct the error, not compound the mistake, and just get on the football, take the yardage loss.
So now they'll come back out, and the Fords will try to get something going offensively with 4:29 to play. Dante Perry back out there. 3 interceptions in his last 3 drives, and as Rob said, it might just be his last 3 snaps. He rolls out, flips it high, and it's incomplete.
Dante Perry's pass incomplete. Intended for
Thought he almost had that. That was a
Yeah, Spencer
Great
it looked like he almost brought that in.
thought he did for a second, and unfortunately, I think he might have strained his shoulder or something when he reached out for that.
Yeah, maybe hit the turf the wrong way with his arms extended.
Might be a cramp. Just the way they're looking at his leg, it looks like.
Yeah.
Hope it's nothing more than that. A little late in a few weeks into the season, but then you got to remember, too, that this is only live game number 2 for Haverford, so maybe guys still getting back into the swing of things.
Well, we'll take this opportunity to once again remind everybody that we're sponsored by Dunphy Ford in the Northeast, a wonderful Ford dealership run by a good LaSalle man, Kevin Dunphy. You see the second camera up in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Again, that is a second camera that was allowed to be because of the financial support that we've received from them and their support of LaSalle High School and LaSalle football. It's a big part of what we do. We talk about these guys all the time, so we hope that you guys, all the folks out there watching today, can appreciate that commitment to us. And so if you're thinking about buying a new or used car, please keep our good friends in mind over at Dunphy Ford in the Northeast. Unfortunately, Jake Spencer still down on the play. LaSalle will have a bye next week, and the way the first 3 weeks went compared to tonight, maybe you don't want the bye right now, but it comes nonetheless and leads right into the biggest game of the season, the biggest game of every season. LaSalle against St. Joseph's Prep. And, you know, there are some athletes on this LaSalle team that have taken more snaps tonight than they had in the first 3 games. And I am very much looking forward to watching from afar, by the way, to see how LaSalle might handle St. Joe's Preps and how St. Joe's Preps team will look to handle the guys like Abdul Carter.
Bob, are you going to tweet into where he at?
I might. If I have an international calling plan or data
Get on a Wi-Fi hotspot somewhere and let us know.
We'll play your cards right. We'll give you a shout out.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Tyler.
I almost hope that you don't, Bob. Try one. I hope it's because you trust us. 2, because you're gonna be on a honeymoon where you should be having fun. I know LaSalle football's fun, but go have yourself a good time and go get married next weekend and enjoy some time off. You know?
Listen, I try to remain committed to LaSalle football. The wedding's on a bye week. Best I could do. No, but I know you guys do a great job. I'm excited to see how you do on the weekend of the 29th. It's the 28th, I believe, Friday night.
Biggest game of my
Prep.
life.
Yeah.
Biggest game of my life, and I get to call it. so I've missed the prep games every year, with the exception of one, I think. Just scheduling conflicts on my own end, but I see how it is. You had to schedule that honeymoon right during prep and leave me to do play-by-play.
Selfish.
I agree. I agree. 3rd down and 7. 3:44 to play. Clock ticks. Perry drops back. Perry fires to the outside. Caught there by Nate Whitaker. Comes back into the field of play and scoots forward for 2 more yards after the catch. 1st down and a gain of 10 for the Fords. I tell you, Dante Perry has had a tough go of it, certainly with interceptions, but that ball does come out of his hand nice.
Yeah.
Looks clean. I mean, he's got great, technique with throwing the ball. It looks like he's got a strong arm, so able to sling it any side of the field no matter where he is. So clearly,
you know what it kind of reminds me of? The way he kind of gets his hips into the throw and kind of eases through it is almost the way Jameis Winston gets rid of the football. Fires to the outside. Another good throw that time. It's Whitaker again, sneaking up the sidelines out of bounds. And runs over the LaSalle defenseman on his way there. Might have stepped out first. It's a 1st down for the Haverford School.
Whitaker hits hard, man. He really lowers that shoulder and just gives you – you can feel every pound of him, I bet.
They got some guys that can pop, that's for sure. I tell you, I'm impressed by this Ford team. I really didn't know what to expect coming in. They've only played once. It was a 12-6 win against Northeast in some crummy weather. So like I mentioned at the beginning, there really was no film on these guys whatsoever.
Yeah, that's tough to prepare for.
It is, and they've come out and played really, well for spurts, just not consistently enough. Here's a nice run inside the 25 to about the 20-yard line. That was the first carry for Peter LaForest.
Luke Reshko, sophomore linebacker on the shoelace tackle there, really saved the touchdown there for the Explorers.
The last couple minutes of this one, the game well in hand. LaSalle a 30-point lead over the Haverford School.
Exciting night of football. Perfect kind of prelude to fall weather.
I agree.
Yeah. It's,
they faked to give it a good thing. Slat was right on it and now thrown away. LaSalle had a lot of pressure in the backfield there on Perry.
Nights like this, though, Rob, it's what high school football is all about.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps when your team is winning and has made some amazing plays, but it's nice when that time of year rolls around again. Football
feels like fall.
Yeah, it's a little brisk to the night. It's really nice, and it's only going to get better, especially when we face off against North Penn, or not North Penn, St. Joe's Prep. Sorry, I'm living in the past, Bob.
reliving the glory days of yourself on that field.
2 weeks ago. I was talking about 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's fair. There was nothing glorious about that night.
That was a rainy
Do you remember
night.
how we had to pretty much insulate ourselves from everything? Throw over the top. It was pouring for the entire night, and we had a tent with one roof,
That you
with
somehow
two
set
roofs.
up by yourself and carried all that stuff. And then I show up a little later. I'm like, hey, Bob, you're all set up.
Oh, wow, look at this nice tent that I can sit under.
I didn't realize we'd be dry.
With one of those side guards as well, because otherwise we would have been toast. It was coming sideways at certain points.
Yeah.
So I prefer 65 to 70 degree weather like we have tonight and clear skies. Worst we have is a little bit of smoke. Come on, guys, that's nothing.
Fire pit gate is one for the books.
Perry bobbles the snap, throws it out wide. Nobody in the area. Perhaps they're going to say that number 9 Jordan Berry was, so I think that's going to keep the flag in the pocket.
A little overthrown. Kind of thought his man might have been running out that way, but
So now they're going to test their mettle. It looks like they're sending the field goal unit out onto the field.
Perry staying in to handle the snap on this one.
Thomas Ward,
A lefty.
the lefty legend from the left hash. See what he's got. Ward yanks it a little bit right.
Just a little.
So LaSalle keeps Haverford off the scoreboard one more time. And it's 1:48 now to play in this game.
From the 20-yard line.
So, as we mentioned, a bye next week for LaSalle. Then a Friday night tilt against St. Joseph's Prep. Rob Stott, Tyler Kern will be on the call. Excited for that.
Yeah, it should be a good one. I'm excited for Rob's play-by-play.
Don't be.
I'm excited for it,
No,
Rob.
it'll
You'll
be
do a
good.
great
Yeah,
job.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it. You know,
And then-
I'm extra hard on myself.
And then just 2 days later, the LaSalle Open House.
Yep.
Sunday, September 30th,
September
right?
30th,
Yeah, I'm
yep.
getting ahead of myself now. Tyler's looking back. I'm looking forward.
Got to meet somewhere in the middle.
September 30th, 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Here's the give to Melman, and he's taken down.
So feeling the party atmosphere, kind of getting back into the stands courtesy of the pep band as this clock winds down under 90 seconds to go.
Well, this is exactly how you want a homecoming night to go. I mean,
Yep.
you can
My
speak
thoughts
from
exactly.
experience,
Yeah.
Tyler.
Yeah, especially, I mean, like you said, with such all your important games coming up, it's really nice to be able to kind of turn your record around a little bit, go 1-3 instead of 0-4, and I think that really helps, even from like a mental standpoint. Like it's really nice to have a bit of a positive pull away from the night. I think the offense kind of found its identity a bit tonight. Obviously, that leaned way more towards running and maybe some trick plays, and defense was just they came to play. It was a, a quick offensive start. Haverford came out swinging, and LaSalle was able to answer and then some.
And for me, it's as simple as simplifying the offense and getting your athletes in space. And I was very impressed by what I saw from Abdul Carter, from Sam Brown. Certainly Liam Tatlingari had a great game at fullback. He threw the touchdown pass. And Manny Keelis had a tremendous game as well. Sean Daly ran it all, and LaSalle ends up with a 30-point victory, 58-28 over the Haverford School on homecoming just down the road from campus here at Springfield High School. A wonderful venue for this type of game, packed stands, and a happy fan base going home for LaSalle. They're 1-3 on the year. And on the other side, the Haverford School, they are 1-1 on the year. Drop a tough game to a really good opponent from the Philadelphia Catholic League, and I think they're going to be set up to win some games in the Interac as well. I thought this was a high-level high school football game, and don't forget that this was a 10-point game with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
That was amazing.
And Haverford really hung. It was the big plays at the end that put LaSalle into comfortable territory.
Just an unreal kind of game. You know, everything. Some really special moments in this one. Obviously, I think the thing we'll remember coming away from it is the Philly special. Philly kind of put a stop to any momentum that Haverford had moving forward, trying to make that comeback run. And LaSalle doing their thing, stepping up big. The defense did its job in the second half, really shutting down Haverford. And we kind of saw the emergence of the young weapons as well. The freshman running backs doing their thing, showing their athleticism, showing the future of this program, what it's going to look like. And LaSalle coming away with their first big win of the year.
Your final 58-28. LaSalle changes the mojo and is back in the winning column with huge games from a lot of freshman guys and a lot of young guys. TJ Meacham had an enormous game as well, returned an interception for a touchdown and had another interception as well. He's my defensive player of the game. And on the offensive side of the ball, for my money, it was all about the running back, Manny Keelis. A tremendous game for him. And he's your offensive player of the game. We'll now turn your attention to the alma mater. A good night for LaSalle football. 58-28 winners over the Haverford School. For my tremendous color commentary team, Tyler Kern, Rob Stott, and Colin O'Hara doing a great job on camera. I am Bob Long saying so long here from Springfield High School. And for another 2 weeks, we'll have to wait for LaSalle football to get back on the field. They'll take on St. Joseph's Prep on Friday, September 28th, with Rob Stott and Tyler Kern taking the reins for us. So enjoy that football game, and I will see you guys back in October when I come back to this side of the pond. But I appreciate everybody hanging with us all night, and we'll see you soon.